finally, we have members coming from the Uganda Union with us. We have Pastor Bitamazie Nicholas, Elder Ada, Mama Susan Senablia, and Pastor Ntulo Huntington. I beg that you stand. I move that these members standing will be accepted.
1 second. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, nay. Thank you. Can be seated.
Mr. Chair, I move that the members on this desk, the chairman, the secretary, and the treasurer, be accepted to be members of this session.
It has been moved and seconded. All those in favor that we continue being members of this meeting, say aye. Opposed, nay.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So now we have the session in business. Dear members, for those of you who have the books, you'll go to page 6 and you'll observe that we have a program which has been presented to you, and it outlines all the activities of the day. I move, Mr. Chair, that we adopt this program for this session.
Okay. It has been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, nay. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, in this meeting, it is our culture and a necessity that we affirm the mission statement of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. I beg that all of you with these books open page 3, where we shall find the mission statement of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Page 3. The mission statement of the Seventh-day Adventist Church is to make disciples of Jesus Christ who live as his loving witnesses and proclaim to all people the everlasting gospel of the three angels' messages in preparation for his soon return. According to Matthew chapter 28, verse 18 to 20, and Acts chapter 1, verse 8, alongside that we have the Revelation chapter 14, verse 6 to 12. And along the same line, we have the method guided by the Bible and the Holy Spirit. Seventh-day Adventists pursue this mission through Christ-like living, communicating, discipling, teaching, healing, and serving. Our vision, in harmony with Bible revelation, Seventh-day Adventists see as the climax of God's plan the restoration of all his creation to full harmony with his perfect will and righteousness. Mr. Chair, I beg that all of us here reaffirm this mission statement.
Yeah, it has been moved and seconded. By the way, this one, we just affirm it because that is our mission statement. Whenever we sit, we are supposed to read it. Not only read, we have also to understand it and practice it and live it. So please make sure that always you take this as a statement which belongs to this church and belongs to you. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, nay. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, this is the time for the chair to give the welcoming remarks.
Mr. Chairman, probably before we give the remarks, I indulge you that under your segment of welcome remarks, the Secretary, one more time, I know you did it yesterday, take the new delegates through the process of conducting business, because when you look at what's going on, seconded, just for refreshment before we could again go. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, I think let me take the position that I held yesterday. Dear delegates, in a nutshell, the procedure of conducting meetings, especially when there is a motion, bwetwa tulina ebiteeso nga bireetebwa omu aleeta era bw'aleeta ekiteeso okusobola okuba nga tuula mu kifo kyakyo ekituufu kyogerweko walina okuba waasemba. Era chairperson kyava agamba nti waliwo asemba era walina okuba waasemba. Ne bwabeera omu kiba kitegeeza nti ekitundu ky'olukiiko kikkiriza ekiteeso ekyo kigende mu maaso. Chairman naye ajja kuvaayo alyoka abuuze oba waliwo alina kyayogera ku nsonga eyo. Bwe kiggwa nga kimaze okwogerwako ayita abantu ffenna baliwo okulaba oba ekiteeso ekyo waliwo abakisemba kiryoke kifuukire ddala ekiteeso. Era bw'aba kiyise abuuza abakisemba mwogere ekigambo I kabonero akakozesebwa okukkiriza nti tukikkiriza. Kakati addamu n'agamba waliwo abatakikkiriza bo basobola okukozesa ekigambo ekya nei ekitegeeza no. Kakati bwebanga nnene erimu abantu bangi alangirira nti yesinze. Kasa esinga kiba kitegeeza nti ekyo kifuuse ekiteeso eky'olukiiko luno. Eyo procedure. N'olwekyo nga bwe mulabye bwe twakava tubadde tuyisa ebiteeso mu butongole ebirina okuyisibwa mu nkola ey'enkiiko bye twakayitamu. Agenda tulina okugiyisa kyetuvudde tuyita awe tuyise. Tubadde tulina okuafaminga tuddamu okukakasa to reaffirm mission statement. Era ffe kitukwatako ffenna kyavudde atuyingiza ffenna kubanga yenkola. So I think nenzanyo sebo waliwo kamu akabadde kasigaddeyo. Bayibuli egamba mubuuliza gamba nti babiri basinga omu bwagwa omulala asitula munne wali wansitudde. Kati mu mbeera y'okuteesa nga tuteesa chairman asobola okubeera nga akkiriza abantu bateese okumala ebbanga gwanvu naye ate nga olukiiko lulina kubaako we lukoma. Kati omu ku bateesa bw'alaba nga embeera erabika ng'ekiteeso ekinyikidde nga ffenna tulinga abakikkiriza avaayo n'ekigambo ekigamba nti question akyaba agamba chairman nti buuza oba nga waliwo abawagira oba abasemba ensonga eyo. So question is about finding out by the chairman those who are in favor of that ongoing agenda item. Ndowooza ako nako eryo ddembe lya buli omu okuyita question kubanga ffenna kati tuli bammemba b'olukiiko. Chairman atutuuzizza n'olukiiko lunyini lutukkiriza tubeere bammemba. So oli wa ddembe bw'obanga otunulira ensonga nga zitambula zituuka okuwunzikibwa n'ogamba Mr. Chair question. So ekyo kiva wonna towanika na kuwanika question, then chairman ajja kubanga abuuza ekibuuzo ekyo kyonna we kyogambye kibuuzibwe. Mwebale nnyo. Thank you very much my leader.
Bassebo ne banyabo, abaana ba Katonda mwenna njagala okubalamusaako Mukama waffe Yesu Kristo. Mukama mulungi ate ennaku zonna. Bassebo twebaza Katonda tutuuse ku lunaku luno olumalako si mwaka gwokka n'ekisanja ekyobuweereza. Tugamba tutyawo mwekubireko mu bugalo bassebo ne banyabo. Twebaza Katonda atuwadde omukisa ne tutuuka mu ssaawa ku lunaku luno. Bwe ndaba balitayaadi bano ne ŋŋamba Mukama mulungi mbakubiremu obugalo Thank you, Pastor Sonko. Thank you, Pastor Kairanga. You have done us well to come and be part of us. Twebaza Katonda akumi bakadde bafaawo. Emyaka gino esatu gyandibadde 5. Tutambulira myaka 5. Covid yabitabulatabula n'atukolera esatu. Tusuubira nti kati twazze mu nnomu bwe tusuubira tutambula 20, 25 up to 20 what? 30. Twebaza Katonda olw'ebyo bye tuyiseemu. Nze nno sigenda kwogera bingi kubanga lipoota yange ne mu kitabo ekyo mweri. Ebigambo byange biri awo ate ebirala bingi mbyogeredde wali. Ekibadde kinkozesa ekyo tusavinge time tukole ebirala era sigenda kusukka bingi. As you open up in this booklet, Kandababa Chirina, do you have this booklet? Put up the book itself. Then that means you have it. Office yange nga yemadde mpererezaamu ng'omulabirizi tekola byayo ekola olw'okukola kw'abalala bonna bembeera nabo. Naye njagala kwebaza Katonda because we have worked together peacefully mubakubireko mu bugalo. Nyinza okugamba nti we did a lot, especially in evangelism and stewardship as the theme of those years. Nga bwe yali etegekeddwa basebo twakoze bulungi. You will get the reports clearly and see how we have performed. But I remember that all throughout the years we tubadde tukola ku Uganda Union, sijjukira mulundi gwe twakola ene activity ne tusembayo, naye buli activity tubadde tukulemberamu. Bannaye mwekubireko obugalo. I would like to thank the pastors who had wait gowns throughout the 3 years. Abasajja abo babatiza muyimireko babatiza mwenna babatiza abasajja. Situka tulabe. Kamya wali, kamya musajja yetu twali twamuteeka mu mazzi gabeera Sennuni wali n'engoye zisula bweru. Sennuni wali, where's Sennuni? Exactly. Please clap again for these people. These are our frontliners. They have done a lot to make sure that this work is being done well. Thank you. They have not been doing it alone. Mwenna nga abaweereza mu makanisa mwebale kubuulira njiri ne mutuukiriza ekiragiro kya Mukama waffe. Thank you. Thank you all of you as a church for the thrusts. We began the 3 years with prayer campaigns which were successful, including the corporate prayer, including the 90 days prayer. Thank you for the family campaign. Pastor Sembus and team, thank you for the family campaign. It was good because we made our families as prayer centers and Bible centers. Thank you because during this time we had also the homecoming. Twafuna omukisa okufuna ababuulizi okuva mu mawanga gonna. Abamu nga bava ne tufuna ne vice president wa general conference ng'ali waffe mu Central Uganda Conference wali ekajjansi n'atandikawo n'ekkanisa. Mbeebaza mwenna abaakola n'abantu abo ate nammwe abaafuuka abazungu ne mukola effort mu kiseera kye kimu mwekubiremu obugalo bw'amaanyi. Homecoming campaigns, very successful. Thank you for disciple makers. Twakola kinene nnyo okulaba nga tubuulira ne thrusts ez'enjawulo ezagenda mu maaso nga zikolebwa. Era wano mu lipoota yange banaaba mufunye ekiseera nga mugisoma mujja kulaba nga thrusts ezo tuzimenya ey'abavubuka bakubire mu bugalo. Youth for Christ Evangelism. Tulina women thrust campaigns. You can clap for them. The reports will get them from somewhere else. Children for Christ Evangelist campaign. Thank you. You can clap for yourselves. By the way, is it not the year we went also in Arua, the years, during that time? We can clap for that. Era sebo omusumba Mpande, thank you olw'okutudumira n'amaanyi mumukubire obugalo obwaddala. Thank you. Sebo bano babadde bakaana tusooka stewardship and evangelism stewardship kati munaabigonjoola lumwekka luvannyuma naye newa stewardship naawe yimirira bakubiremu obugalo. Thank you for the work well done. I want also abana, children. I saw children also nga bali serious babulira enjiri. Nange natulako mu audience ne tubikula Bible nga babulira enjiri emyaka egyo obadde muno okukola enjiri n'okuwa abaana abato tukikubira obugalo bw'amaanyi. That was wonderful. Women ministry, children, ow'abaana omukyalo oyo. Thank you for the work well done. Thank you for commanding us and leading us. Thank you. We had also the media evangelism led by Adventist men. Bw'obanga oli musajja nga stamp y'onsajja yimirira buli wekebereko stamp oba oliko nsajja naye bwe batulina nsajja sigalawo buli alina stamp ensajja yimirira tukukubira obugalo bw'amaanyi twekubire n'abalala batukubire. Thank you for leading that campaign which had no totals. Actually, our leaders from Uganda Union, this is an effort where we had no clear report. Because for us where at the base we saw the 600 plus being baptized. But because even the people of West Buganda did not conduct, but they were using what we were preaching. The Busoga, the what, whatever they baptized belongs to us. And during that very period, I saw Adventist men, and they were in the same spirit, driving, singing, bakoze pulpit, n'ebirala bingi nnyo bye baakola bye ndowooza nti byawagira nnyo omulimu gwa Mukama waffe Yesu Kristo. Era abakyala kwolwo lwe nalaba nga basiriikiridde nga bayiye ekyokukola ndowooza bagenda kukikola kaka. Abakyala bagenda kukitukola kati naye guli ejja omwaka gwe twagusobola. So we clap for Adventist men. And we also clap for these technical people because they helped us to send messages all over the world. Clap for them. By the way, let me make here a point that olwokubanga semuto bagamba bamuto watire gege wakola ki njogera kuona bajiba omuto watire gege wakola ki wazza omuya kala batamanyi muya nakitegeera oluvannyuma kakati we twalabanga ekyo kikoze division yatuwadde ekyokukola egamba nti tugenda kukiddamu ekyo nate 2027 bakiyita voice what 2027 nga tugenda kucelebratinga emyaka 12 kasookedde Kristo abatizibwa. Bw'oba obaze wali emyaka giba emyaka 10 meka 2 naye tunacelebratinga tutya singa tusala ente singa tukola pate singa tukola cake nga tubuulira enjiri nga tubatiza abantu n'amaanyi naye nga tukozesa media nga tukozesa Adventist men. So please charge for this new quinquennium. Tugenda kukola n'amaanyi mangi nnyo okulaba nga lwaki tugenda mu media tukubanga eyo one etuyamba okutuuka ku bavubuka twakitegeera nti 75% of our people in Uganda and elsewhere are young people, and young people can only naye wetusinga obasisinkana babeera ku mikutu nakati ndi wano njogera eri atandaba ali ku simu ye. By the way, kati tuli wano naye abekotido bali ku mukutu, abali Sudan bali ku mukutu, kitegeeza nti emikutu girina omugaso, twagala gikozesa for evangelism. So thank you for the massacre issue, but thank you because we expect you to be ready to do the needful 2027 mu kitundu kino kye tuzzaako. So it was well done. In that very quinquennium, I think we had the biggest number of organized churches. They will give us the report. Mbakubire mbugalo amakanisa mangi agatekebwawo era gegaleese ffe tujje wano. Ndowooza ate gineetana we ginagwerako tujja kgenda Namboole. Kiki kyengezaako kugamba nti kubanga ababaka basinziira ku ki? Ku muwendo. Ekkanisa enteeketeeke. So thank you okutukulembera. Ate thank you for the new districts ezatandikibwa mu kiseera ekyo. Thank you for bonosoma mu lipoota eno ojja kulaba abantu badde batubuuza tulina abasumba bangi abasoma era abatendekebwa mu theology n'emisomo emirala. This report will show it to you. Abali ku bursaries n'abalala twagala wano tukubiremu obugalo abantu institutions sekinoomu n'amakanisa agaweerera abasumba. Abo obugalo babukubira nze basajja balina sente zaabwe ne bawaayo ne musaaga. Thank you. Abantu baweeredde abasumba babatuttewa. Tulina abantu abakoze masters mu kino na kiri kubanga waliwo abataddemu sente zaabwe. Era twagala kusaba mu kisanja kino amakanisa mwongeremu amaanyi, abakampuni mwongeremu amaanyi. Naawe alina sente zaamu ndaba mpuliriza gamba nti nze njagala kuweererayo omuntu, njagala kuyambayo omuntu. Naye tetuweerera bya ddiini byokka, tuweerera eddiini, tuweerera n'emisomo emirala. Era tulina abantu abasomye mu lines endala kubanga olutalo terulwanibwa ku kituuti kwokka. But thank you for the work well done in the term which is ending. I want also to thank you for the work well done in infrastructure development. Mwebale kugula ttaka, kuzimba makanisa n'okuzimba ebifo by'abasumba. Mwekubiremu obugalo. Thank you for the work well done when it comes to Chireka Adventist Hospital. Bajja balaga wano naye mukubemu obugalo mu advance. Kubanga we twogerera olwaleero ffe twagamba nti omuzannyo gwa lile oddukako ekitundu n'omulala n'akola atya n'ayongereyo. Saagala ogambe nti wodduka mu liiro ojja kudduka omaleeyo, liiro odduka n'otuusaako awantu. Ffe ababaddewo tudduse ekizimbe tukimaze banne mutukubira amiina. Ye mutaka aliwa mutaka yabadde abadde ebyeddiku wano tekyaliwo wano. Kale bajja kutulaga wano ekizimbe bwe kifaanana. Kati era tusimanyi gavumenti egenda okugjawo yonna ffe tugigamba. Ffe bayibuli egamba oli yasiga omulala n'akola atya n'afukirira omulala n'akola atya. Kakati ate tewabaawo asinze. Kyovulaba ne bino ebyamakanisa omulala gozimba ku ttaka naye ate neyawaayo ettaka naye mukulu. Tewabaawo asinze. Kati ffe tukozeeko ekyo twagala bakole kyonna ekisoboka okulaba. Kaakati tubadde ne governance program, tubaddeko ne betugiteesezza, tulina bwe tugituusizza. Abanaabeerawo balabe nga kigguka n'eddwaliro liryoke litandike mu maanyi ag'ekitalo nga lirina waliwo bannaffe bali baga nti wetumala wetutandika kituufu nakyo naye ffe kyetwayagala kitwagala kitandike nebbugumu. Amiina bannaayo. So that is why we are saying thank you for supporting Gideka Adventist Hospital, and let us continue supporting Gideka Adventist Hospital byonna ebinaaba byetaagisiza okubikola n'amaanyi. Mwebale nnyo, tulina bingi naye nagambye all these will come from the reports of other people. Nsembyayo mu lipoota mu bigambo byange bino ebiggulawo okwaniriza mu ngeri y'enjawulo, tukube engalo ez'enjawulo eri abakulembeze baffe bano abatudde wano. They are here as our leader from Uganda Union. It is true I'm part of them, but I'm part of them. I am part of them, but I'm still part of them. But I'm ceasing to be part of them. Because I was directed that I hand over to the new president of Central Uganda Conference, not anybody else. So I have the key. That is why you see me here. But I'm giving out that key, probably that is tomorrow. So that's why you follow Mutabuka, in Chatham, Damoku Chimpita, I'll be one side. Take a sabulunji bana. Nulisho bana abantu bakulu kubanga bebatu twala ku Uganda Union. I want to sit down after saying one statement which is big and bigger. Nja kusaba bano gye bujje tujja kugitegeera n'abaana abamu okulembeze bonna. Ekigenda okutta embwa kigikola ki? Kigiziba nnyindo. Bwe twali ku division baatulabula buli entity efube nnyo kucekinga nnyimirira yaayo mu polisi. Entity yonna eba tetunudde bulungi nga bagipimye mu polisi bagenda kugizza emabega. Ndabula Central Uganda Conference tunyweze enkola nga bwekola ki? Nga bweri. Era enkola yaffe tugamba nti bano beba supervisor abaffe ke bakuzuula nga ekyo tokitegedde kiyinza okukuleetera obuzibu. Kyenvudde sebo basebo mbasembyayo tweyanza. Ekyokubiri kye baatuwadde tulina ekiwandiiko ekikakali kyensaba kikyusibwe mu lulimi Oluganda. Gundi waali wano omusajja oyo akyusa ebintu mu Luganda yaani bamuyitani Sempala mwe mukwasa ekiwandiiko ekyo ekikwata ku bwesigwa ku bwesimbu. Luba omutwe gugamba gutya kyaggwa mwakikyusa bano mbakubire mbuga babadde bakikyusa dda. Basebo mbakakasa ekiwandiiko kikambwe nnyo ekyenkaniddeawo kigamba buli muntu yenna ateekwa okukakasa nga waatudde akuuma obutukuvu bw'ebintu byebamukwasiza, oba treasury oba kuwola ki oba kulabirira ttaka tulikola ki, buli kintu kyonna ekiwandiiko kiwanvu. Twatuula mu lukiiko e Nairobi nga tubula na butawanika mukono, naye nga n'obutawanika mukono nakyo kimenya polisi. Era ne tukiyisa ne ku union twakiyisizza kigenda kujja eyo wansi ekiraga we need police pastors, mwe ba supervisor b'ekiwandiiko ekyo, era bwe munaakifunako musobole okulabirira omulimu gwa Mukama n'emirembe. Awamu n'ebigambo ebyo nkola ebintu bibiri. Awamu n'ebigambo ebyo olukiiko nduguddewo lugende mu maaso. Awamu n'ebigambo ebyo nkola n'ekitabaddeeyo naye nga bwekiri n'okwogera kwange kweko era kukomyawo kubwa Yesu Kristo Mukama waffe. N'olwekyo n'okubanga kubadde kwogera suubira nti kulina akalulu konna akayetaagisa wabula mumpuubireko. Mukama abawe omukisa kubwa Yesu Kristo Mukama waffe. Now, what you not hear in my report, you be calm. The secretary is coming here. After the secretary, the treasurer. Naye njagala tukubemu obugalo obw'amaanyi eri officers bano ababiri. We have traveled that journey together. We are ending today this journey together. We thank God and our departmentals. Basebo mwe mubeera wano mukoma wano kumpi. Nife abatambula mu bulabirizi obulala n'obuwuliriza eno n'eri. Obumu obulabirizi bwa kutaasa butaasa kyoto taasa bakiyita kimu Central Uganda Conference. Because we know how to live together. We find a way of living together. Living together does not mean you are the same, but you choose to live together. So, kyenvudde tuyina ne bastaff baffe batuweereza bulungi bakubire mbogala abakyala abo n'abavubuka. They are good people. They have served us well. May God bless you as we proceed on Kubwa Kristo Mukama waffe. And I want to invite you, the secretary, to come, and we have started that block 2, block B. Come and do the needful. Ono yagambye ekyeyune ti abayita ababiri bajjukanya bangambye tisokoddeyo omuvinga eripoota yo. I move that this report be accepted.
Any second? Okay, I think the disclaimer was correct, and I think we may not discuss anything beyond that. But all those in favor of the report that it should be accepted, say aye. To the contrary, say no.
Thank
Correct.
you.
Thank
Good
you
thing
very-
it is in your booklet.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. This is the Executive Secretary's report, reporting the period of 2023 up to 2025. Dear Mr. Chair, I take this privilege of thanking God for giving us this opportunity as Secretariat to conduct business in the way we have conducted it. And we thank the members that we have been working hand in hand together so that we make a realization of the report that we have today. My name is Robert Melchizedek Cheyune Onyango Amoti. I think if you don't know that, you better know it today, that I carry those normative stature. Now, I believe you can all see, am I obstructing anyone? Is anyone obstructed when I stand here? Okay, please, we can proceed. Our dear leaders from Uganda Union, led by our new president, Pastor Samuel Kajoba, Pastor Bitamazini Nicholas, the Uganda Union Executive Secretary, Elder Isaac Liada, Uganda Union Treasurer, plus all members of Central Uganda Conference Executive Committee. Allow me to insert also the other members from the Uganda Union in the personalities of Mama Susan Senabulia and Pastor Hannington Ntulo. You are all welcome to this fourth session. We thank God for His mercy accorded to us. We also thank the Uganda Union leaders for their support and guidance as we carry out the mission of the church in Central Uganda Conference. We appreciate the efforts of the pastors, church elders, institutional leaders, and the rest of the role players and the roles they have played in this mission of the church. Dear members, allow me to give my report basing on the focus issues of our division, Uganda Union Mission, and Central Uganda Conference strategic plan of I Will Go, from spectators to disciple makers, given the period of 2023 to 2025. Central Uganda Conference operates in 12 political districts, which include Kampala, Wakiso, Mpigi, Kalungu, Masaka, Chotera, Sembule, Kalangala, Luengo, Bukomansimbi, Rakai, and Liantonde. This means CUC takes care of two cities, that's Kampala, capital city, and Masaka city. It is made up of 41 districts, church districts, which are also divided into 6 entities as follows. We have one station known as South Masaka Station, SBS, situated at Masaka with its headquarters. And then we have the 5 other zones, which include Central Kampala Zone, headquarters domiciling at Makerere. South Kampala Zone, the offices are found at Najanankumbi. East Kampala Zone, the offices are found in Chireka. We also have the South Uganda Zone in Chotera, and the Kampala Metropolitan Zone in Kampala Central Church. That is the tabular information that we have. We have one station, 5 zones, 41 districts, 355. That's the correction we wanted you to make yesterday. I think you already took note of that. We have 355 church boards. We have 304 companies, and the membership altogether is 154,175 members in this great conference. Under mission, this quinquennium CUC has exhibited a unique degree of participation in evangelism impact, which is commonly known as the Evangelism Impact 2023-2025. It has been a time of intensive awareness, programs, promotions, planning, implementing, and coordinating the entire thrust at all levels. In mission, we held and went through the 90 days of prayer, the family life evangelism, the school weeks of prayer thrust, the homecoming campaign thrust, stewardship thrust, Women for Christ thrust, Youth for Christ thrust, and the Children for Christ thrust. In that pictorial representation, we have those members that came from the international level to come and preach in the homecoming. So those were some of the homecoming preachers. Within the stewardship thrust promotion, as we promoted, we could not promote without any initiative of inauguration. So we inaugurated the stewardship thrust promotion exercise while we were in Masaka, and those were pastors clad in the stewardship shirt and also having applaud a pronouncement of I will go as a faithful disciple. Children for Christ, those are pictorial representations of when the children got the promotion materials, and the CUC officers also participated in the inauguration exercise. You see them clad in the children uniform. In that pictorial, you'll see our president, our treasurer, and our outgoing executive secretary. The entire Central Uganda Conference leadership, all pastors, evangelists, elders, district council, church boards, school boards, and media platforms managed to participate in all these thrusts. through the Arua for Christ. This was an initiative by the Uganda Union. It was a project which was conducted in northern Uganda field, in Arua specifically. Central Uganda Conference won 47 souls, and it constructed temporary churches and bought land for one church. We received a team of 35 international speakers who conducted their homecoming evangelist campaigns in Greater Masaka from 22nd June up to the 6th of July. On July 4th, we received a 10 of 10 international speakers, including the GC Vice President, who conducted their homecoming campaigns in Greater Kampala. We want to thank the Bishop and departmental directors, the entire Adventist community for their support and participation in God's cause during this year's and the 3 years we have been in this service and through these campaigns, especially Greater Masaka Evangelist effort, which was led by our own Pastor Samuel Kajaba, and we yielded 602 souls for Christ on site. That is our own, the bishop, who was the lead person in that campaign, and the outcome as have been mentioned. And that is now the one-time sitting, which when you listen to the evangelism report, you'll listen to the numbers thereof. The work through the entire period was coordinated by the Central Uganda Conference President, the Secretary and the Treasurer working together as a team with all the departmentals and frontline pastors. Uganda Union leadership was at the top, especially in areas of inspiration, motivation, and guidance. We thank the Lord for what He has done through our leadership. Church growth. The church has registered a number of achievements in church growth. However, let me hit on some few achievements as follows. I would like to remind members in this session that by 2022, CUC covered the following districts. We had 16 political districts. We were found in 16 political districts. We had 2 stations. We had 5 zones. We had 48 districts and 370 church boards and 507 companies. The membership was at 181,378. After the reorganization of CUC into another entity on the 4th of June 2024, the following changes took place as follows. The membership, the information, the tabular information provides the CUC, which is new, and the EBS, which later on becomes East Uganda Field. So, CUC, within the whole of the membership in 2022, which was 163,000, CUC that remained had 123, and EBS had 39,722. In 2003, the total membership was 180,281. CUC New had 136, and EBS, that's East Uganda Station by then, had 43,348. Now, when it came to the first quarter, the new CUC had 137,678, and EBS had 43,700, making the total of 181,378. Baptisms. This is the baptism report. I'll just mention the totals. In 2022, the new and the EBS had baptized 8,626. 2023, we baptized 16,666. And then by first quarter, 2024, we had baptized 1,100. We also had the privilege of organizing churches and districts. In the new, I'm giving you the new and the East Uganda Station because in our timing, we at one time were together. But I'm giving you these numerical figures so that you know what was taking place in each category. But in total, as we talk of the political districts, we are 16, number of districts we are 51, number of organized churches we are 370, and the companies were 507. The infrastructure within the reorganization period. East Uganda Field Headquarters was constructed at that time, and that was the stature at the time we were reorganized. The current position now, as mentioned before, that is the status. But let me just mention the ordained ministers now. We have 39 ordained ministers, and we have 25 licensed ministers. Membership trend 2023 to 2024 and 2025, September. By September 2025, we have 154,175 as the members of Central Uganda Conference, or membership. Membership trend according to station and zones, just like you see, Central Kampala Zone by 2025 had 38,173. East Kampala Zone by 2025 September, the membership stood at 35,531, and South Kampala Zone by September 2025 membership is at 48,396, and the Kampala Metropolitan Zone by the same time membership is at 6,853, and South Uganda Station is at 7.7%, and by 2025, where we had baptized 6,685, the percentage increase was 4.5%. Advanced Church Management System, commonly the acronym is SCMS, as it is mandated that all church members must be registered in the General Conference membership system. Central Uganda Conference has registered 146,115 out of the 154,175. This translates to 95% of the registered members, giving a balance of 8,060 that have not yet been registered in the SCMS. However, the Secretariat team is working tirelessly to ensure that this exercise is concluded. The SCMS membership, that's where we are standing. Let me focus on the balance. Central Kampala Zone, we have 1,623 remaining. And East Kampala Zone, we have 1,116 remaining. In South Kampala Zone, we have 2,108 remaining. Kampala Metropolitan Zone, we have 869 remaining. And South Uganda Station has 2,305 remaining. South Uganda Zone has just 39, but all that is going to be uploaded. District inauguration, I want to bring to your notice that during this quinquennium, we have these districts that have been inaugurated. We have Chira Central, which was carved out of Kampala Central by 2023. Kawempe was carved from Maganjo in 2023. Nyendo from Masaka in 2024. Wankurukuku from Najanankumbi in 2024. Chireka Town from Chireka in 2025. Rwemiyaga from Zimbabwe. Bulaga from Busega. And then Busi from Entebbe. All these four happened in 2025. Church organization. We have in total organized 127 congregations into church boards to bring services closer to God's people. This will help in discussing church affairs quickly and making the decisions and implementing them for a forward motion without delay. This authorized these congregations to operate and implement their decisions, plans, and carry out God's mission. Congregations that were organized, initially by 2022 we had 324, 2023 By 23, by adding 46, we came to 370. After reorganization, CUC remained 272, and 50 were organized. We came to 322, and then on those, we added 31 just previously, the previous month. For 31 were organized, and the total came to 353. Actually, it is supposed to be 355. Leadership structure. These are the levels of leadership that we have. We have 3 officers, 7 departmentals, 1 station director, 5 zone leaders, 41 district leaders, 15 associate district leaders, 147 global mission workers, commonly known as LVEs, and 29 chaplains. In that aspect of the Holy Spirit, churches have maintained the Revive One from Reformation programs at all levels of our church by conducting prayers and fasting days as shown on the GC calendar. Districts have been making their own programs for the special prayers and revivals. For example, Revival Weeks. We have also the commonly known as Tuangulira Kumavivi and Okusaba Okwesawo Mwenda. At the conference level, we have had the corporate prayer day at the beginning of event directors, pastors, evangelists, global mission workers, church elders, and church officers have done a great work of visiting and praying for the businesses and homes of our church members. During this, let's go to the leadership. During this period, we ordained 14 pastors into the gospel ministry. This was a great achievement which increased the ordained workforce in our territory. We have those who were ordained. I think some of them are here. Those are our own. We know very well. Let's continue. The Secretariat Office has spent much of the time in conducting spiritual seminars, spiritual leadership seminars at station, zones, and district levels. We have been focusing on servant leadership and the mission of the church, nurturing and retention of members, and the ministerial ethics. The target group was always all pastors, global mission workers, church officers, chaplains, and church members. However, a lot of emphasis was put on ministerial seminars where the target was all pastors and shepherdesses at all levels because they are #1 spiritual leaders of the church. Their caliber determines the quality of the church. And the team included all global mission workers, chaplains, and chaplains in all our zones. That's a pictorial presentation of seminars, pastor seminars happening. Global Mission volunteer seminars at Lule. That was a historical event. Let me talk about the ministerial growth. To develop the church without developing the ministry is very dangerous to the church because pastors play a crucial role in the birth, nurture, and formation of the church. The ministerial workforce in CUC is made up of ordained ministers, licensed ministers, global mission workers, and chaplains. And that is the tabular information indicating the 39 ministerial those having ministerial credentials. We have 25 with ministerial licenses. We have 14 with missionary credentials. And we also have 4 with missionary licenses. We have 5 contract workers. And we have 147 global mission workers and 29 chaplains. This is a table showing pastors with ministerial equipment and facilities. Allow me to mention to you that those ministers with the workers' houses are 54. Pastors with offices are 42. Those with computers or laptops are 62. Those with smartphones, surprisingly, all of them have. And those with motorized transport, we have 50 who move on fire. The quinquennium, in this quinquennium, we received 33 bursaries from Uganda Union and 2 from Central Uganda Conference bursary budget. So far, we have 31 students, or these are ministers and CUC staff and workers from different institutions on bursary. We have 6 pastors who graduated in Bugema University with a Bachelor's of Theology degree and 2 with a master's degree in accounting and finance and public administration, respectively. Currently, we have many ministers and others on different study programs, as mentioned by our president earlier on. That is the distribution. I want to present to you the distribution of ordained pastors, to the members. This one is about ratio of the service delivery. In South Kampala zone, we have 1 pastor to 3,456. In Central Kampala zone, we have 1 pastor to 3,181. East Kampala, we have 1 pastor to 4,441 members. In the Metropolitan zone, we have 1 pastor to 1,713. And then South Buganda station, we have 1 pastor to 1,710. And South Buganda zone, it is a ratio of 1 pastor to 1,353. Overall, is 1 pastor to 2,855. The workforce of CUC. During this period, 2023 to 2025, we have recruited 20 workers into the gospel ministry, 7 service calls for pastors and office workers from other sister entities to come and serve in CUC. 10 ministers were promoted to district leadership. This is the empowerment level. When we look at our academic stand, we don't have anyone with PhD. We have 10 workers with master's degrees. We also have 46 with bachelor's, 26 with diploma certificate, and the total are 82. Those pursuing studies, we have 8 doing masters and 15 doing their bachelors, and there are 23 in all. Okay, obituary. I want to tell you about sad news, about the death of some of us, apart from you. This period, 2023 to 2025, has shocked us by the death of our long retired workers. We have Pastor Mwesige Eldad, we had Pastor Naimuli James and wife, Pastor Clover James, Pastor Kazoba Fred, and Benjamin Bavakule. We also had Esther Walusimbi, a wife to one of our serving ministers, Samuel Walusimbi. He's here with us. The members of these families need our support and encouragement. Let's continue. This is information about retiring. We have retirees that we registered in this period. We praise God for the church workers who served their church and retired peacefully during this term. We had 5 workers that retired from active service, and these are Pastor Waiso Samuel, Pastor Ndalike Stephen, Pastor Cheyune John, Pastor Walukembe the office, and our brother, Mr. Nsoje Christopher. Those retiring at the end of this year, in this particular month, are 3. We have Pastor Zua Chrysostom, we have Pastor Rije Ezekiel, and Pastor David Sebagala. May I request those pastors to stand because they are here with us. Pastor Zua, Pastor Rije, and Pastor David Sebagala. Okay, that's Pastor Zua. We can clap for him. Where is Pastor Rije? Okay, while they are out, we want to recognize their services. Maybe it will be repeated, but according to the Secretariat, in this time of our report, we want to remember and also honor you for the services that you have rendered the church for all the years God has given you ministers of this great mission. May we all clap for these people in recognition of their services. Thank you very much. In the infrastructure, as we do mission of the church, we desperately need modern facilities for purposes of image change. We need decent worship places for both children and adults at all levels. We also have to construct decent houses for pastors, staff members, and modern buildings for our station, zone and districts, and churches, schools, and other medical facilities. We thank God for the many achievements acquired during this term, and some are ongoing. We spearheaded the construction of East Uganda Field Headquarters, as you saw before, and the officers' houses in Bukasa, Mukono. We also saw the Executive Treasurer's house completed at the hill of Chireka. Central Uganda Conference has purchased land for investment purposes, as it will be highlighted in the Treasurer's report. This is now a brief information about Chireka Adventist Hospital. This is commonly known as CAR. This project is a fully church-owned facility funded by the lay church members through a program called Mutayimbwa. This project is already in the finishing phase, as mentioned earlier on by our bishop. We would like to thank the construction committee for the work well done. We need to appreciate the work done by the contractors and the consultant for the work well done. We need to appreciate every church member for participating in this great work. Challenges. These are some of the challenges we have encountered as a secretariat. Planning at different tiers of leadership makes it difficult to implement all activities. Number 2 is poor reporting system at all local levels. Then 3 is continuous training of church secretaries due to continuous change of the officers annually. There is a rampant threat of offshoots in many areas that continue to threaten the spirituality and growth of our churches. These are recommendations. We want to introduce electronic system of reporting using technological approaches. We want to consistently train secretariat personnel, including elders, on how to deal with membership in all its details, and to encourage all pastors to appreciate membership records for their importance. I wish to thank my fellow officers, departmental leaders, station leaders and zone leaders, institution leaders, frontline pastors, associate district leaders, and Central Uganda Conference staff for putting our heads together to make God's work in this conference a success. I want to thank you all for listening to this report. I wish you a happy. Oh, no, just a moment. I want also to thank our supervisors of Uganda Union for the counsel, guidance, and support always given to us as a conference. Let us remain focused on the mission of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Wishing you a happy and prosperous New Year 2026. At this time, Mr. Chair, I move that this report be accepted for a discussion.
It has been moved, members, and seconded. Let us clap for him first. Wow, it was a long journey. He has summarized the 3 years, and I think he has hinted on almost every aspect. But you are free. If you have any comment, anything, you are free to put up your hand, and somebody with a mic, you can help us. Want some 2, 3 comments, but don't repeat what somebody has said. Don't take a lot of time greeting us. It's already done. I just want 3 comments. Lady first, okay. I give chance to the man. Yeah, I knew they will give you a wrong one.
Thank you so much, our dear pastors. We appreciate the time you have put in to have these reports presented to us. My name is Faith Nakubulu Amuonge. I'm here representing Namasuba SDA Church Board. I have a few comments on the report from the Executive Secretary. The first one is basically about the presentation. Most people are put off when they see lots of numbers. There are some comparisons where a graph would quickly put out the message and help us know the trend. I'll give an example and also comment further on it as my second point in the baptism trends from the year 2023, 24, and 25. It would be very nice for us to understand why are the baptisms declining. In just looking at figures, you might not understand that they're actually going down. Yeah? But also it's an issue that we have to examine as a church. When we come up with a new program for the 3 years, we have the excitement and it actually works. The thrusts work, the baptisms come in. What happens in the third year? We're having almost half the number of baptisms we had in the first year. It's high time we looked at the things happening down at the local church levels and understand why the numbers are dropping. In CUC as a whole, most of the land has been taken up. There's no more space for open evangelistic campaigns. It's something that we need to think about and change the approach to move from open door evangelistic campaigns, maybe to take it to having centers of influence on our local churches. There's a pilot that Elder Luja is supporting at our church. We have skilling at local church level. It's bringing in lots of people from different communities. We don't even go out to call them. So such ideas of having people commune at the church and then deliver the message to them might be something we need to consider in the next year as we plan for it. Thank you very much. My last part still, it's about the membership. There are some tables that might mislead us in this report. For example, on page, there's a table that talks about baptisms but ends in the first quarter of 2024. I don't think it's giving us the message we want from it, and yet the better tables that give out the same message. So that one that just stops at first quarter 2024, maybe we can remove it and then the report will be good for me. Thank you so much for all the work, Pastor Cheyune and team. May God bless you all.
Another one, the second one.
Thank you so much.
We only said 3.
Thank you so much, the chairperson. A vote of thanks to the Executive Secretary for the compilation of this report. My concern is only one on the achievements.
It will help us if you stand up and tell us your name and where you are coming from, so that they can even hear you where you are coming from.
This is Alfred Musad, Makerere District, Kazo, Seventh-day Adventist Church. My concern is on the achievements. Whenever we are moving and we come across a signpost of Seventh-day Adventist Church, we own it. We feel proud that this is our church. In the Executive Secretary's report, there is land which was purchased for investment. May we know where the land is located and its acreage, so that we can go back and report that among the achievements, we have land of this acreage in such and such an area. Thank you so much.
Okay, the last one is that one. Okay, Mr.
Thank you very much. My name is Solomon Katerega from Bunga SDA Central District. I want to thank CUC leadership for this impressive work. I would like to make a few comments briefly. One, the growth of the membership is impressive, and we thank God for that. But when I see the ratio of the ordained ministers to the membership, it is still too low. I think that is where we need to put our energies. And in regard to that, I have a few suggestions that if there is a way of accelerating the ordination of more ministers, if there is a way of strengthening the cooperation between the laity and the mainstream church in supporting the education of more ministers, and also the capacity building of elders and church leaders at the local level to be more supportive. Lastly, he has mentioned the challenge of many offshoots that are coming. What is the strategy of the church to address this issue? Thank you very much.
Okay, Pastor, can you respond on any of them?
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Chair, and the members that have been very particular in responding or giving some comments to this report. I want to begin with Faith. Thank you very much for that idea that you have actually put across. The baptism declining, we missed that point of informing you why decline. But again, you brought in something very, very intelligent that we should actually get down to the churches and do a fact-finding of why that kind of decline. You also mentioned about the excitement that people get, or the church gets, when a new program comes on. But then what happens to that excitement as the year goes along? I think this is a task that we need to undertake as leaders, especially, as you mentioned, those coming in. This is an exercise that has to be invested in so much. And you also mentioned about the other approach. The other approach is really something that is being promoted now in the new direction when we talk of the grounded in the Bible, focused on the mission. How we do mission, we have different strategies that have been laid out which are going to be presented to us, especially when we have our executive sitting. There is an introduction of those approaches that are very essential for evangelistic approaches. So that one is upcoming. And when you mentioned about the membership 2024 was very tricky when it comes to reporting. Other than having a professional, serious professional approach, but at this level we can only provide information that by 2024 we could only provide the first quarter, because it was in the second quarter that we were reorganized. And when reorganization took place, the membership now, we had membership go to East Uganda, and then we had the membership remaining. So it may not be very, very easy to be very systematic, other than getting a starting point, again, for the Central Uganda Conference that remained. This is what I can say about that year, as you highlighted that challenge. When I go to Alfred, we talked about the achievements, and you specifically pointed out the land, and you're very much interested in land. Now, I want to mention that the Treasurer's report is going to have the details. What have we used the land for, and what else can be done? According to Past Elder Solomon Katerega from Bunga, you raised a very clear concern when you mentioned the growth of membership. But when we look at the human resource and the growth in the ratio, it was alarming. And actually, all that you have mentioned, the suggestions have already been kick-started. You mentioned that your ordination increases. According to the Ministerial Council, Pastor Sembus is going to mention something about that, because he's the secretary of the Ministerial Council, as he's called the Ministerial Secretary. He's going to present to us those strategies and present some hurdles which present a situation where ordination doesn't occur so frequent. But that one will be presented by him. The cooperation between the laity and the church, that one has seriously started, and the pastor, the chairman, has already thanked that cooperation that exists, but we shall only increase on this kind of cooperation. The capacity building of local leaders, it is a mandate of every leadership at this level, Central Uganda Conference, and even at the district level. The pastors, their main job or obligation is to train, teach. And so if we don't do it, just here, as you mentioned, we better do it. And I think that is where we have to go. The strategy of the church about offshoots, Pastor Sembus is going to present something about that, and the evangelism report will mention that. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Can I hear a question? Okay, there is a hand before the question. The two officers, please, you are free.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to thank the Secretary for the presentation. And in Africa, it's very difficult to have accurate statistical data. We keep on improving as we go forward. And so we want to appreciate, because in our church, the accuracy of the data starts at the lower level, coming up. And if at the lower level the data is not accurate, it affects the next level, and it affects the next level. And that is why we want to thank God that they are thinking of implementing technological methods to improve. So we improve every day. But Mr. Chairman and Treasurer, Secretary, I want to make reflection. I was wondering, when you look at the human resource capacity, we don't have any PhD, and this is a conference. I was wondering, is it because there are no people to study? Is it money? Or is it because there is no necessity for it? And secondly, in the report you gave, but there was no reflection on losses. How many we have lost vis-a-vis those we have gained? I have looked for it, but I'm sure that probably it is captured. I saw death, but the loss in terms of if there were any, that, so that we can know whether we need to intensify in our redemption methods. And finally, being a conference has a constitution. It's different from a field. I have looked through the program, and there is no constitutional amendment, constitutional bylaws. I was thinking that as the conference grows, more challenges emerge.
In reducing the companies, it is in our strategy that we reduce on those companies, much as there are many that are being created. So we want to compete, the reduction and creation. Those two factors have to compete with one another, but the trend and strategy are there.
Members, can I hear a question? Question has been called. All those in favor say aye. Opposed nay. It is carried. Thank you. Thank you. Katungubire ko mbugalo bwa manyi nga tuyimiridde report ebadde mpanvu. Kale, thank you. So weviiriyo. Waliwo eyasoma temutuula. Buli muntu yasoma bibize nasoma bya Bayibuli. Waliwo eyasoma okugolola abantu ababa bakooye okutuula ajje wano atugolole bwe mule mwanze nga mpikinga ye omuntu omulwadde Ajatwi. Where are you, Perez? Now, as we stretch, the executive treasurer is going to present the report. Those are very important reports. After those important reports, then we move into another direction.
Thank you, Mr. President. We are going to win souls first up in the air with both hands. We are winning souls for Jesus on your left or right. Then this side also. If possible, you can also pull those who have backslidden, pull them back to the fold. Hallelujah. God bless you. Good afternoon, friends. Chair, I want to thank you for the opportunity given to me to present the performance of the conference in the past 3 years. I want to recognize the presence of our leaders and thank you for the guidance that you have offered us through the period. So this is a report for the past 3 years as a conference. And Mr. Chairman, I'm saying that it is with heartfelt appreciation to our board that we welcome all of you to the 2025 CUC fourth session, thanking you for making time and God for the good health and sustenance of the church through his continued providence to the church members. The period 2023-2025 has been one of rebuilding the economic capacity of the conference, which has majorly, through spiritual enrichment of our members, via stewardship drives, evangelism that resulted in increase of quality members. Following her reorganization, CU has consistently risen to defy global statistics of church reorganization failure. With resilience, adaptability, and innovation, we have continued to transform into an economic and spiritual pillar of the SDA Church in Uganda. CUC Treasury has continued to foster her mandate of being a service unit to all functional units in the conference, seeing the ushering in of a new generation of integration where mission work is integrated for the institution to function as one body. The mandate runs with a mind of ensuring institutional sustainability, integrity, and prosperity, taking into consideration environmental, social, and governance issues. As we look into 2026-2030 quinquennium, we dress up for different times, same mandate, but better results. For the closing quinquennium, we are delighted to present the following report, following our I Will Go strategic direction. Treasury objective. The primary goal of the Treasury Department is to ensure efficient mobilization, collection, and proper utilization of church resources for mission support. Our vision is to establish a diversified income base that supports institution sustainability and promotes financial freedom among members. Our strategic plan for 2021-2025, the strategy has been of doubling conference time an offering for sustainable financial capacity, enabling effective support of all programs and activities. Our income. CUC income is basically from tithe from members and institutions, combined offering from church members, institutions and well-wishers, interest on fixed deposits, government bonds, and treasury bills, and also rental charges, basically the mass. Distribution of funds. Funds collected from local churches flow through the church system to support God's work globally. The designated percentages of these funds is remitted to Uganda Union and General Conference Treasury to facilitate their operations. Okay, fine. So that table 1 shows to us the percentages of distribution. So we are saying that tithe, we have been sharing it in those percentages with their organizations. Combined offering has been standard, almost static, not changing in terms of percentage. 13 Thabas, as collected, it is all forwarded, and committing, we remit 25%. Financial statement trend analysis. So the table here tries to bring out a brief picture of our performance. So we can see that from 2022 to 2024, we have seen a fluctuating mode of trend. Then 2025 cannot easily be compared with 2024 in the way it is presented, because one is 10 months and the other 2024 is 12 months. Then operational expenses, we can see the percentage changes. Our income in 2022 to 2023 changed positively, changed negatively with a positively with a 9.2%, and negatively in 2024 with a negative 3.5%. The real reason for the negative there is the realignment of the conference, that part of it was actually released to East Uganda. Then operational expenses, we have an increase of 4.2 in the 2022-2023 and 86% in 2024. Still, the challenge there comes with the reorganization, where assets started to be released to East Uganda field. So we have a graph there that tells us, or shows to us, the trend. So we can see a depletion from 2024 going down, but we thank God that 2025, at least the curve is steadily growing. And so we think and still believe that God intends the conference to continue to be a leading institution in terms of performance in Uganda Union. Historical perspective, when we try to look at every quinquennial year, you can see that there is a progressive increment in terms of our performance. So our cash and cash equivalents in the bank from 2028, that is when we had a session in 2028, when we had the session 2010, then the session of 2015, and the session of 2022. We thank God that our current assets were seen to be on an increasing progression. So we can see that 2010, it was 885 billion current assets, getting to 5 billion by 2015. coming to 13 billion by 2022. And then by this session, we are standing at 16 billion in terms of current assets. So it's the same movement in terms of our fixed assets. 2010, it was 824. 2015, it was 3 billion, 2022, it was 10.5 billion. And today, our fixed assets are 13.5 billion. We thank God and thank the church members. So you can, our liabilities, unfortunately, have also had a positive trend, but they can actually be sealed out by our assets. Our current liabilities, by 2010 it was 138, 115 it was 738, 22 it was 1.1 billion, currently it is 1.5 billion. So when we look at total assets and net, total liabilities and net assets, when we look at them together, we can see that we can still thank God for the positive progression. From 2010, it is 1.8 billion. By 2015, we were net asset of 8.7 billion. By 2022, it was a 24.4 billion institution, and today we are talking of a 29 billion. So we thank God for this performance. Tithe and combined offering. So table 4 shows us the growth tithe and combined offering. So for 2022, growth tithe was 11.2. 2023, it was 12.8. 2024, it was 11.6. And now, the 10 months, we have so far managed to collect 9.4. Our combined offering, 2023, December, it was 1.1 billion. 2024, we have slightly declined to 1.01, and 2025, it is 840 million. So we can see the percentage changes. It improved by 13.2 from 2022 to 2023, which a little lowered to 9% reduction from 2023 to 2024. The cause is already explained, the realignment of the conference. So the bar chart there tells or brings out the picture for one to appreciate. So the chart shows that tithe amounts are consistently much higher than combined offering across all years. Central Uganda Conference got its peak performance in 2023 in both tithe and offering. So 2025 values, I already explained that those are 10 months. So we still hope and believe we will match up the 2024 performance. Institutions that have participated in the returning of tithe and offering, we thank God that these institutions or leaders from these institutions deemed it fit to ensure that whatever is collected from staff members is returned. And also institutions themselves, from their income, they also, some of these have come up to return what we call institutional tithe. So Lakeside College leads with a 99 in total for the period, followed by Maryland. We want in a special way to thank the director of Maryland High School, because capitalizes in institutional tithe, while Lakeside returns tithe from staff members. So other institutions fall in as sin. So we thank God for these institutions. They have done us good by being faithful. So they continue, and so in total, for the period we have managed to collect 614 for the institutions. Definitely the percentages are not good. They are in a falling trend. So from 2022 to 2023, it reduced by 16. But then 2023 to 2024, it reduced by 42%. Then definitely the cause here is the realignment. Per capita returns. That is, if we assume that every other member participated in the returning of tithe and offering. So what would be, or how did we perform? So for the period 2023, per capita tithe performed at 71,987 shillings per member. 2024, it is 78,795, and for the 10 months, it is 63,441. Meaning, as a member, that is the much that you have managed to return for the period that we are talking about. So for a full year, if 2024 we are saying you have returned 78, then you can divide that by 12 to estimate how much you actually return every month. And the growth rates, we can see that they are not also very impressive. When we look at the combined offering, it is also not good that for 2023, per capita performance is 6,378, and 2024 is 6,888, and for the 10 months, it is 5,000. We strongly believe that we can do better as a conference, more so when we compare our tithe with our combined offering. This is in recognition of the fact that a lot of offerings are actually returned and retained by the local church. All we manage to get here is a 50%. The solution to this, we are saying we need to grow the spirituality of the members. Other offering, camp meeting, for this fund, 75% is used for church construction, workers, house construction, and evangelism support. That is the global mission workers or the lay volunteers that are supported by the conference. We know very well that there are those others who are supported by the local churches. And then the 25% is sent via organization. So the table there brings out how we have fared. From 2022, we had an increment of 39%, and 2024, we had a reduction of 11.5. So far, we have managed to surpass what our performance was for 2024 by casting 569 million for this year. We thank God. Napa School. This is an offering for worldwide mission support, and 100% is sent to the AIA organization. We can see from the table here how we have managed to perform. In 2022, we had a 2022 to 2023, we had a 24.5% increase, and 2023 to 2024, we had a downfall. So far for the 10 months, we have managed to raise or to receive 94 million. Given the 2 months remaining, we trust we will surpass what the performance for 2024 was. So churches and workers' houses that have been worked on, so the number has been fluctuating as seen in the table. 2022 we had 7, 14 2023, 8 2024, and 4 in 2025. Then workers' houses 777 and 8 so far. Prime Radio. We thank God for church members' continued support towards radio ministry, though this has had a reducing trend, that is in terms of support, funds that are gotten. We are so grateful to Adventist World Radio and the Africa Region Coordinator for the re-engineering done at Prime Radio. So a new transmitter was gotten and studio equipment was received and installed. Mr. Chairman, I want to request that a vote of thanks be moved for this that we actually received from World Adventist Radio.
It has been moved that vote of thanks. Bannange bameka bagamba nti ddala tusiimye Mukama akiwa omukisa. All of you say aye. Thank you.
So, Mr. Chairman, the radio has consistently maintained its programming and operations. It should be noted that the local church support towards the radio is majorly gazetted for its capital development. And Mr. Chairman, that is how we have been performing. So we can see that it has also been a fluctuating trend. We had 240 million in 2022, which reduced to 151 from CUC, and then a 23 from East Uganda. So we can see that it is not actually consistent, and as a result, a cause for us to worry. But we want to thank the fields that actually were carved out of the conference, that at least something has kept on coming to support the radio for the services they receive from the radio. Percentage-wise, Mr. Chairman, we had a negative trend from 2022 to 2023 of 27.5, and from 2023 to 2024 of 20.5. You can see that we haven't matched our performance of 2024, but our fingers and hands are crossed, praying to God that the members continue appreciating what the radio is doing. Trust fund reports. There has been an improvement in the reporting of trust fund from local churches. In this, we are saying there are not many Sabbaths that remain unreported at the local church. So they have tried to send everything that is collected to Central Uganda Conference. We still need to achieve full compliance. Cases of misappropriation of funds are reported. So, Mr. Chairman, this is a picture of this table actually brings up what we have managed to do in the period for the IR organization. We can see that for 2022 to 2023, yes, we sent all the money, and we thank God that it was an increase of 21.1%. Unfortunately, in 2024, we had a downfall, or we reduced a little by 11.7%. Mr. Chairman, for this year, for the 10 months, we have so far managed to send 4.6 billion. We still pray that the 2 months can match up or be better than what we performed in 2024. Self-support. The table indicates that we have 7 districts within the conference that are unable to sustain the basic services for mission support. Strategies to enhance household income are seen as the best means to ensure sustainable capacity building for the support of mission work. Thus, improved homestead income remains central to achieving this goal. So the table there brings out self-support, and we based on 2025 the 10 months to bring up or to come up with our report for the churches, so the districts that all are in high sustainability level. So we have 3 levels of sustainability. We have high sustainability level, which is over 200%, and then we have medium sustainability level, which is 100 to 99.9%, and then sustainability level, which is below 100%. So 27 of our districts, Mr. Chairman, are in high level sustainability. And then, 7 are in medium sustainability, and then we also have 7 that are in low sustainability level. We still pray to God that we can manage to raise capacity for the 7 districts, that is Chazanga, Busi, Chitoma, Nyendo, Bijaba, Rakai, and Remiaga. Remiaga being the worst performing district in the conference. Security, Mr. Chairman, this has been enhanced by hiring a professional firm. We, in the past, depended on locally recruited local security men, but when we realized that the conference had actually grown to outlive such kind of security, so we resorted to hiring an armed security firm, and then also installing CCTV cameras. Around the facility to ensure better protection and continuous monitoring and a safer working environment. External audit. Mr. Chairman and the members, we are here by, I think it is some correction there. So we are hereby reporting that during 2024 ECB Annual Council, CUC Treasury received the recognition as the best managed treasury unit in the region. Also pleased to report that for this quinquennium, the GICA's financial audit reports have been of standard opinion as reflected in the table. So 2022, 2023, and 2024 financial audits have been of standard opinion. So 2025, we are yet to be audited, but we are preparing. Internal audit. We have had many churches visited and checked or audited by our staff, and Mr. Chairman, we are seeing some form of improvement, and our local members are being helped to match up with the needs of the department at the local church. Investments. Mr. Chairman, the table there indicates that at least we have also managed to diversify our income base, moving away from only being dependent on tithe, but trying also to get some investments, and majorly the investments are in government bonds, fixed deposits, and treasury bills. Mr. Chairman, for 2022 to 2023, we increased by 38.5, and in 2023 we gotten 893 million. On 2024, Mr. Chairman, it was an increment of 10%, and we managed to get 982 million. For 2025, so far, Mr. Chairman, in the 10 months, we had managed to raise 331 million. We are still hopeful that since many of the investments instruments are maturing, all matured November, and some are maturing in December, most likely we will match up, though there were some retirements that were done that negatively impacted that. Assistance to church institutions. The conference continued appropriating funds for mission support to institutions targeting image change and institution positioning given the industrial competition. A total of 890.6 million has been released to our church institutions in the period under review. Mr. Chairman, that is a picture of Chitoma Secondary School in Lukoma Nsimbi, funded by Central Uganda Conference. Mr. Chairman, that is Chisindi in Zimbabwe, and this is also co-founded by Lakeside College Luzira and the CUC. Mr. Chairman, Mulabana, which is a school that was actually put on the islands of Sese to help the church penetrate further the island. And by the time we started to have the construction, this is just the recent block, but there are already others that have been built. And in the area where it is, they were likely to be the first ones to be in permanent material, because most of what was on the island was shacks. So we thank God for the leadership of the conference who have thought it wise. We have also assisted our health centers, that is Ruitaita, acquiring those equipment. Infrastructure development. For 2023-2025, whereas CFMS, that is Church Finance Management System, was called off the platforms being used by the church for tithe and offering collections, for the gaps that existed in it, and a new system is being developed, we still achieved several infrastructure improvement at the conference headquarters and other levels of the church. Those of you who recall CFMS, you used to use your phones to return your tithe and offering at ease. But because of the gaps that existed in the system, it was called off. And so it's being developed. So, Mr. Chairman, for this quinquennium, we have managed to complete the third officer's house. I want to tell the House that the conference, yes, it had the name, but it lacked some of these facilities. And so now we can say all the 3 officers' houses are available, and all the 6 departmentals have, so we still lack 1 house for a departmental. Mr. Chairman, we have managed to put up a cafeteria for use by the staff and our visitors in this quinquennium. Mr. Chairman, Chileka Advanced Hospital, the 2 floors are done, are complete, and the compound is being leveled, preparing for service come next year. I think a full report will be given by the representative of the Chileka Advanced Hospital Committee, Mr. Chiseka, who is around to represent Mr. Katabira. That is how it looks inside, and we thank God for your contributions, members. But pray that you continue pushing in funds for the completion of the project. That is the water system, which is already installed, ready for commencement of service. So Car Works has continued to ensure readiness for service to community. That is how we have managed to raise funds. Yes, it has been reducing. It has been reducing, as we can see, because of different factors, but we want to thank God that already 2025 is performing better than what it was in 2024. Building capacity for institutions. During the period, especially 2024, CUC was realigned, leading to a carving out of East Buganda field. CUC was key in putting up the infrastructure that are now serving as field offices. By the time we handed over to the appointed field leaders, the buildings were as below. So you can see the new office block and the old office block that used to serve the station. It was a resolve of the conference that whichever field is supposed to be released by the field, by the conference, we had to ensure that we have enough and reasonable office space, and also workers' houses, as it can be seen on the screen. We know that they have surpassed this level. They have improved all the facilities to a level that is deemed fit for ministers of God. Other capital projects. During the period under review, our capital projects has supported, our capital budget has supported tree planting to safeguard church land, as well as enhancing a potential to long-term source of income. So the secretary talked about the land that we bought in Selinya, that is in Masaka. We did not buy that land for investment. We bought that land for future development of Masaka Station. So we think and believe that at the right time, office space, office block will be built and workers' houses to facilitate growth or the carving out of that area. Sanga Forest, also for the conference. That one we bought 2 acres, the other one is 11.5 acres. That is Selinya, and then Sanga is just here in Sanga, and those are 2 acres. Both are planted with trees, but we have also supported local churches. This is for Sanga Church. They have mature trees. I believe they are soon, as they come up with their office, their new church, they will utilize funds that will be secured from here. Land. We have continued to ensure that our land is fully processed into organization names. For 2020 to 2024 and January to October 2025, we have completed processing of 52 land titles, and others are still in Lands Office. We recovered the last portion of church land at Kabalagala from encroachers by paying 260 million to fully resolve and clear the encumbrances. It should be noted that the court ordered in 2007 for a settlement, which have since kept on growing in value. So, Mr. Chairman, we are here to pronounce that the Kabalagala case is now fully sorted and the land is in the hands of the local church and also the conference. Mr. Chairman, we had another one at a donation from a church member at Makindye. He donated land along Salama Road, but it developed issues and challenges. Fortunately, the Minister of Lands handed this land to the church and we are in possession. Unfortunately, the people decided to escalate it into a court case. We won round 1. We are still waiting for what comes next. Legal cases. Land encroachment continues to pose a major challenge and has resulted in most of the cases we have in court and those won. We are lucky, Mr. Chairman, that at least we have managed to overcome our challenges via this. But the ongoing cases, we have one of Chitoma, we have one of Chigoma, Narufle, and then Nsabu. Nsabu, we won round 1, they decided to appeal. The titles that have been processed as shown in the table. So 2023, 2024, and so far 2025. Our surveyors found a challenge in 2024 with new requirements by the Ministry of Lands, but now they have understood and mastered the game. So that's why you can see 2025, in 10 months they have managed to clear 21 compared to 11 of 2024. Staff welfare. Staff salaries and allowances have been increasing by 4% to 10 for different years in the period. 6 pastors have received education assistance from CUC and have upgraded academically. Motorization of staff transport have greatly improved, assisted by office car/or motorcycle loans, but majorly by local church support and self-initiatives. Works works, that is new ones and renovations, have been carried out to improve workers' houses for improved living condition of staff. Notable among these is MPG House, Boama House, which is under construction, Matuga House, Sanga House, Makerere, Nanziga, Chiwoko, Usi, Nyendo, and the CUC Treasurer's House. Retirees have also received due consideration. We have played our role of ensuring their entitlements are always released in time, and also ensured we keep them connected to the mission office by hosting them at least once every year for a reunion, but also to hear their concerns as well as remind them of church expectations. So those are pictures of retirees at the office. These are some of the houses that have been worked on by the conference. Roofs for Pastors project. Roofs for Pastors project is a brainchild project of Elder and Mrs. Kasvante GRM for CUC pastors in advanced stage of church service, but lacked a retirement home. Iron sheets have been provided to 10 pastors during this quinquennium 2023-2025, a total amounting to 69.3 million have been disbursed. I appeal to other willing donors to come and join the bandwagon. Those are the pastors that have benefited from the extended hand of our brother. Mr. Chairman, it is on this note that I also request, Mr. Chairman, that we recognize and appreciate what this family has done for the servants of God. I so move it, Mr. Chairman.
It has been moved. Is there a second? Okay. We recognize what the family has done by clap the arms. And also recording it, that we appreciate what was done.
So 10 pastors have had their houses roofed by that family. Direct involvement in frontline evangelism. For the period under review, though Treasury is a service unit to all departments for church mission, I've always created time to get engaged in frontline evangelism. To that one, I've led an evangelistic campaign every year, save for this year, 2025. And for all the years, I've laid out a campaign, a camp meeting with not less than 30 baptisms for each of them. Also participated in stewardship weeks of prayer activities. During the quinquennium, I've managed to run Friday night stewardship or treasury sermonettes. Prime Radio is missing out there. That is on Prime Radio, intended at mobilizing the church towards mission support. Good results have been got. Currently engaged with SDA Chambogo University Church for my practicum attachment for a master in divinity studies of Adventist University of Africa. I'm done with classwork, now handling my research. Challenges. Appreciating the fact that God is with us, serving Him and His people has become increasingly challenging in today's world. It is my innermost belief that He continues to make a way for His servants and followers. Below are key challenges that require thoughtful consideration to ensure effective and competitive mission operations as an institution. Limited financial resources is a challenge. Weak internal controls at the local church and district treasury is a challenge. Low membership engagement is a challenge. Poor infrastructure and resource utilization is a challenge. And inadequate data management system is also a challenge. Our way forward to those challenges, strengthening stewardship mobilization strategies for spiritual nurturing of members and member economic empowerment through seminars and partnership that would create an advantage for those involved, enhancing financial accountability and governance at all levels, and improving church institutional capacity and land improvement. I wish you a happy and prosperous New Year 2026. God bless you. Mr. Chairman, before I hand in, I would like to request that, Mr. Chairman, we also move the financials as well.
If Isaac allows me to do it concurrently. Elder Isaac, can we continue? Yes, please.
Joshua, you are not there? Mr. Chairman, where the Treasurer's report ended, in those booklets, that is page 74. We have the audited financial statement. We have the audited financial statement from GICAS, Mr. Chairman. And Mr. Chairman, I want to take us to page 1 of that statement, where the auditors are saying, we have audited the consolidated financial statement of Central Uganda Conference of the Seventh-day Adventist, which comprises consolidated statement of financial position as at 31st December 2024-2023, and the unconsolidated statement of financial activity and unconsolidated statement of change in net assets and unconsolidated statement of cash flow for the years then ended, and notes to the consolidated financial statement, including a summary of significant accounting policies. In our opinion, as auditors of the General Conference of the Seventh-day Adventist, the accompanying unconsolidated financial statements present fairly, in all material respects, the financial position of the organization as at 31st December 2024 and 2023, and of its financial performance and its cash flow for the years then ended in accordance with International Financial Reporting Standards, IFRSs, adopted by the Seventh-day Adventist denomination. Mr. Chairman, since the notes are there for the members, I think that was one of the most important items that we needed to look at the kind of opinion that we have. I request the members to move to page 4 of that report, where we will find the unconsolidated statement of financial position. With that, we have total current assets 2024 of 14.9 billion, up from 16.9 billion. Our fixed assets were 12.4 billion, up from 11.8 billion, and other assets were 503, up from 468, giving us total assets of 27.9 million, down from 29.1 billion. And our liabilities, Mr. Chairman, stood at 2.98 billion, up from 1.9 billion. Total assets and liabilities, Mr. Chairman, 2024, they were 27.8 billion, down from 29.1 billion. Caused the alignment, because by June 2024, conference was realigned or some entity that is East Uganda was carved out. Statement of financial activity, Mr. Chairman. Total earned income was 11.06, which was down from 11.5 billion. Operating expenses, Mr. Chairman, we had 12.7, which was an increase almost twice the expense of 2023 of 6.9, cause realignment, so the assets released. So there was a net decrease before appropriation of 1.6, Mr. Chairman. I will request that you move to page 9. Page 9, Mr. Chairman, we have our working capital and the liquidity. Mr. Chairman, for the year 2023, the conference would manage to run for 11 months without any support from elsewhere. But that was a reduction from the capacity of 2023, where it would manage 2 years of running without any resources coming from outside. And our liquidity, Mr. Chairman, for 2024, it would only take us we would manage 9 months of running, which was a reduction from the 21 months of 2023. I want to move, Mr. Chairman, that this audited financial statement be accepted by this House for discussion.
It has been moved and seconded. It has been a long journey. Hope you have been following.
Mr. Chairman, finally,
Yes, please.
I want to move the unaudited financial statement for the 10 months of this year.
Okay.
It follows immediately after page 9. So, Mr. Chairman, our total assets unaudited for the period to January 2025 is 16.1 million, down from 18.3 billion. Then fixed assets were 13.4, all are 13.5 billion, up from 11.9. Total assets is 29.8, reducing from 30.4. And our liability total is 900. Sorry, I think the figure moved a little. Yeah, the figure moved a little. Total current liability is 1.56 billion. So, Mr. Chairman, I would request that we move to statement of financial activity for the period. So far, Mr. Chairman, we have managed to get an income of 8.2 billion compared to 8.1 billion of 2024. And our expenses, Mr. Chairman, we had 4.6 compared to 13. The 13 includes asset appropriation to East Uganda. Mr. Chairman, net increase before appropriation, we have 3.4 compared to a negative 5.7. Mr. Chairman, I request that we move to the last page before the ministerial report. That page, we have an indication, Mr. Chairman, that the conference had 38, or can manage to run for 38.3 months compared to a 4.8 months of 2028 same period. And then for our liquidity, Mr. Chairman, we can manage to run for 59 months compared to 7 of last year. I move, Mr. Chairman, that also the unaudited statement for the 10 months of 2025 be accepted by the House for discussion.
It has been moved and seconded. Now, the good thing, we got these reports yesterday, and you spent the whole night with them. He was just presenting them now. In case you used your ready pen during the exercise of reading through last night, and you noted something where you need clarification, or you have a question, it is your turn. But because of the time which you see, I want very few people who are straight to the point, and then we move on for other activities. Can I have some people to help me with a microphone? 1, 2, 3, I'm seeing 4, 8. You must be less than 5. Where's your Sulemu Batan? Make sure that when you come here, you will come here this time. Make sure that when you come here, you don't bring 2 questions. Make sure that out of the 10 you have, you choose one important question, major. Others you will answer them during the plenary. Make sure you come, and once you stand there, 5, I want 5. And once you stand there and you hear that your question has been handled, better go back. Now, since we have only one lady, let her ask first, and after her, when the number 5 is over, you will go back and write down your question so that we can answer it. Just attack and answer the
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, the Treasurer of CUC. My question is on page 70 on land, where you've told us that you've continued to ensure that our land is...
Come again, land?
Land is fully processed in 2 organization names. I want to have more light on this organization. How does it get its leadership? When does it change? Because as far as I know, all church leadership is chosen through a session like this one, right from the local church up to the general conference.
Thank you. Wait there, Wanji. You didn't hear? Ma'am.
Thank you so much, Chair. My name is Chikos Moses from Masaka. Thank you, Mr. Treasurer. My question comes from page 62 to 63 about sustainability. How I wish we can include church worker, church member ratios for us to look at factors that determine sustainability, because some of these districts could be showing high sustainability levels, but also it depends on their membership. But how can we also include church members, church work ratios? Thank you.
Thank you. Mugisa Ronald from Ndikutamada SDA Church. I would like to know, on page 60, you included 33 churches that were hoped to construct their buildings, but we would like to know what are those churches and how were they assisted, plus what are the procedures for one church to get this assistance in case they need. And the other thing is about the petty cash on page... the petty cash... The petty cash is 1.2. I would like to know 1.2 runs the conference for a month, for a quarter, or what? The petty cash.
Tofaayo begende otunde wano. Abo basatu kasoboza bataano nga bantu baddayo.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm called Jerry Chwanuka and I represent Emmaus SDA Church, Chirinja Central Division. Chirinja Central Division. My question is concerning the disparity between the tithes and offerings. In the last General Conference 2024, we saw that for the first time, the offerings surpassed the tithes. What are your strategies as the CUC to ensure that we also can emulate the same? Finally, the issue of reckoning the source of income of members, sustainable sources of income of members, because you find that perhaps people are not giving and they don't have jobs. Do you have any database or any way of supporting those that don't have jobs to get jobs? Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Treasurer. My name is Chwanuka Samuel Maseruka, a delegate from SDA Church, Chambuko University.
Okay.
Mine is a suggestion to see how we can have more member involvement. We have platforms like the MomoPay, Airtel, Code. Why can they make them a must for every church such that people can easily access when and to give offerings? Then the second one is to
the first one is good. That one is better.
Thank you very much for the time.
The first one is better.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman, and the Treasurer also. My concern is about workers' houses. You have mentioned some which have been helped, and in Gayaza, we bought a workers' house and completed last year the payment, and we are promised that we are going to help us to make the major renovations. I don't know whether that request is in your office and what we should expect.
Thank you so much. Ndiowa Enoch from Rakai District. My concern is on page 49 and 50 about income sources of the CUC. It talks about rental charges for the MTN mast, but I haven't seen its exact amount. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President, and my elder. Mine goes, the question actually looking at page 65 is on capital development. CUC is in the urban setup compared with other conferences. My concern, I've seen here the Sangha projects and the others, but I see still we have untapped opportunities that we can tap on today. I understand that government treasury bills and the others are the most effective one, but I can see also that today in the Central Uganda Conference, there are so many churches that are struggling with expansion where they are, and also those who have gone ahead even to look for resources from other banks. Yet, looking at page 65, I know fixed deposits are part of our source of income. But I want to tell you that real estate today is something that we can't do away with. In Namugongo, where I come from, I didn't introduce myself. My name is Sechi Kusa Julius. I come from SDA Church in Namugongo. Where I am, you will see that the neighboring faith people have a lot of land. We are thinking that they are given that land. When you inquire from their leadership, some of that land, they have invested in it themselves. The SDA Church, we are not doing well. This Central Uganda Conference, if we continue doing the way things we do them, you are going to see so many churches struggling today when even you have visitors, they don't have where to pass to go to that church. And you won't take them to church. So my thinking, dear elder, I know real estate and the other investments are a bit risky, but you have capacity to assess. Can we support churches, especially those neighborhoods that have given chance to opportunities to church leaders, to church neighborhoods to expand? We support them with these resources. We create a way of having those resources paid back other than looking for the bank. I thank you so much.
Engeri kensembyeyo kankoze oluganda amanya gange Amanya gange nze Isaac Kayiira okuva mu SDA Church Bulamu Kyanja District. Webale nnyo ssebo mukama waffe Ssaabalabirizi ate n'omuwanika. Nze ndi wano obadde ku peegi eya 73 wayogeddeko kusereka okw'amayumba ag'abasumba n'otulaga wano abagenda okuwummula obuweereza. Naye mbadde nsuubira nti tujja obulabirizi nga gwe omuwanika olinawo ku nkola gye wabagawo ey'abaweereza bano abagenda okulitayalinga. Wayinza okubaawoko enkola ennyangu esobola okwanguyirizaako bakitaffe bano abagenda okuwummula ne wabeerangawo omutema gw'ensimbi ogubaweebwa okusobola okufunako we bazimba, kuba tulabyeko abaweereza abamu nga bawummudde naye bambi ne bagenda nga balinga abatabadde baweereza ne bagenda mu nsinga ebakyalenjinga. So nze I recommend nti obulabirizi nga omuwandiisi waffe ate ne kitaffe abadde ku bulabirizi buno obwa mu masekati ga Uganda nti ategeera bulungi nnyo obulumi obw'obuweereza n'abaweereza abawummuddeko bwe babadde bayitamu. So nsaba nti tulemenga okukola obukozi nga wano bwagambye nti I appeal to other willing donor to come on board. Nsaba nti omuwanika wabeerewo ku nkola ey'okuyamba bakitaffe bano abawummula obuweereza basobole ng'okufuna bwe bawummulira
tokimalamu maanyi kirekeraawo kale ssebo taata weerwaneko nange najjiramu awo.
I don't need to get one up. I think these questions are pertinent, but some need some people to appreciate the policy of the church. I will start with the last mover. I think here we have people who are employed in organizations. I just want to get at least 2 where organizations are building and donating houses for you because you are retiring or because you have been serving. I want us to appreciate one fact, that yes, we call them ministers, but they are employed by the church. And the church's obligation is to pay you, your salary and your entitlement after retirement if you have served for the 15 years. So we do not want to think that because I'm working for a church, then the terms and engagement of employment will change. I just want to tell you that the conference in the field then, there was a move and they tried. But those retirees, those who know Pastor Nsugga and the likes, they were made to pay back that money, which the field then got to help them put up their personal houses. Because whatever we do must be compliant with the policy of the church. So yes, we can move these, but I just want to tell you that even if we compose ourselves like we are here, the policy does not give us the mandate to move something which is against the world policy. So that's why my appeal was to
Sema hivi hiyo kaimu hapo. Na maana hivi Saudi zitakuwa. Hivi Saudi
tweyanziza ssebo. Twabadde tukyali ku point eyabadde egamba nti tulina enkola erungamya buli nsimbi z'olaba z'oteeka mu bbaasa zirina polisi ezifuga okuva waggulu okuggyako z'olaba ezakireka Adventist Hospital ne Prime Radio. Ezo zo mandate yazo to manage eri wano naye era nazo zateekebwako seal nti zikola ekyo kyewaziteesaamu kubanga zipiikinga the other policy egamba nti tolina buyinza kukyusa ssente ya muwi kugijjaku ekyo kyeyagiweerayo ogiteeke ku kintu ekirala. So nti okuyamba abaweereza naddala mu ngeri y'okulaba nga bafuna retirement home nti tuyinza obutabeera na mukisa gugamba nti tugenda kukola that generous donation nga tuzijja mu fund egeneratingiddwa oba evudde mu birabo n'ebitundu eby'ekkumi olw'enkola y'ekkanisa kiki kyeri. Naye era ng'obulabirizi bubadde na kinene kye bukola mu kugezaako okuyamba abakristaayo sora abaweereza okulaba nga bazimba capacity newankubadde nga kiyinza obutabeera mu kubawa nsimbi za kkanisa bagende bakola ebyabwe ebiri personal. So kyova olabanga I would have been very happy singa obadde omu ku bajoyininze Elder Kasibante to become one of the donors. So kijja tukola bulungi. Opportunities ez'enjawulo tuyinza okugamba nti tugenda kwongera okwetegereza naye in investment ate twewala nnyo okucompetinga ne ba church members oba okubajja mu business. So the church is not investing in real estate like buy, sell. That is not our business. But also, ensimbi ezizze zisobola okutuyamba okugulira ekkanisa local churches ettaka. I think there are some that have benefited where we have found ourselves with ensimbi zino zetugeneratinga okuva mu investments kubanga ezo zibeera available to us to use for capital development. But tithe era ensimbi ate nga zezisinga obungi okujja tetusobola muteeka mu capital development kubanga alina naye amateeka era agamufuga. So kyova olaba nti the only way we can get there is by fixing it or buying investment vehicles eza government, then ebiva mu ebyo ne tulyoka tetubikozesa capital development. Even those structures that we have seen, okuzimba office for North Buganda, West Buganda and East Buganda, I don't know whether there is any church here that got mobilizers nga basaba sente ez'okuzimba those structures. And if you haven't visited them, you just have to know nti balina office abalala nnungi okusinga eya conference n'abalala zifaanananga eza conference save for one level nti bo twabazimbira 2 levels. So ensimbi ezigeneratingibwa zikola era zidda mu ebyo kulaba nga the conference appears to be a conference. Rental amount tewagirabye kubanga era tetwagenze mu statement kumenya buli kamu, naye bw'ogenda mu statement eyo manya nti among the funds that we have for projects operations are funds eziva mu rental ey'omulongooti oluusi n'ebintu ebirala ebibeera birizingiddwa abantu okuba nga babikozesa. Gayaza banaatuyamba ddi, banaatuyamba batya? Yes, nti omulwadde bwe bamutuusa mu ddwaliro wabeerawo ekisooka ne wabeerawo n'ekikola kitya n'ekiddako. So Gayaza already had gotten help mu nnyumba gye baasooka okubeera nayo. So kati bw'ofuna omulundi omukisa omulala n'ogula endala, then it doesn't give you an advantage over others. Ate bwe batakolanga batya abatafunangako. So that explains why you haven't come, but we are talking of over 10 houses. Kati Gayaza ng'enoonya okulongoosa ennyumba ey'okubiri, bw'ogenda ebuwama ow'ebuwama ali mu muzigo. So kati nga administrator of the two ani bw'osookerako ayagala okulongoosa ennyumba afune endala gy'anaapangisa, oba oli ali mu muzigo ayagala okuva mu muzigo for the name and the status of the church, ne Katonda waffe okubeera nga apositioningibwa bulungi mu bantu abalaba. omulala yalese kyakukozesa other platforms or collecting ebirabo. We still leave it to the churches. Naye ekkanisa zonna ezisazeewo okusaba mobile money, we have granted. Era tuziwadde amabaluwa agaziwadde olukusa okugenda mu Airtel, okugenda mu MTN okusobola okufuna platform kwe basobola okucollectingira. Naye tetulowooza and that is solving the whole problem. Solution to our problem nagambye mu report nti eri mu kuva ku ECD bali mu kukola another program for us okulaba nga we have a tithe and offering collection platform. So tukkiriza nti soon we will actually get there. Disparity mu offering ne bitundu eby'ekkumi lwaki tetulinganga gisi olw'okubanga tuli baana ba gisi. So we are struggling and striving actually to get to that level, naye ng'amaanyi gava mu local churches. So if you find that people still appreciate tithe more than they appreciate offering, if you find nti one resource envelope omuntu gyotunuulira nga yajjamu ekitundu ky'ekkumi n'alyoka ajjako n'ebirabo ebirala bingi ebimusabibwa, ogenda okumaliriza nga abantu babikaminze a little bent mu ngeri y'okuzaamu ebirabo. But we are still mobilizing, and I want to assure you nti coming leadership ejja kwongera okupicking up from where we are okulaba nga stewardship etajetinga okuimprovinga capacity ya homesteads, kubanga bwe baba balina kye balina then basobola okureturninga for mission support. Amakanisa gayambiddwa naki naye wano waliwo amakanisa nga mumanyi nti mwafuna meeting come back. Let me see by show of hands kubanga nyinza okuba nga njogera nga tewali. So I think our brother can look behind you and you can see hands that have actually gone up, then you will know that the report was true. So petty cash wabanga ki ekigambo petty cash tebakinnyonnyola nti oyo petty cash bamukuwadde okubanga agenda kulaninga omwaka. That ceases to be mu ngeri emu oba engeri endala. Petty cash nti waggwerawo your account ne bakola batya ne bakuwa ensimbi endala. So we do not need to have a lot or lots of money in office okugezaako okwabetinga would be receipts. So ezo zezibeerawo okusortinga ebizibu ebyangu ebirina okuba nga bisortingibwa. So zisobola okuggwawo mu nnaku bbiri, zisobola okumala wiiki, zisobola n'okumala wiiki ebbiri depending on the activities ezigenda mu maaso. Then tuwadde details eyo twakuwadde kubanga ekitabo kino singa twakitaddemu byonna ndowooza kyandiyiseeko ekyo naawe kyewandyagadde okusitula, era obunene bwakyo bwabadde bulina otufosinga okugenda okugula bbaaga nti oleme kitulekera wano ofunemu okitwalira given obuzito bwakyo. So kakati some of the details ezitakuyamba nnyo we eliminated them ne tukuwa the final output. So the final output is the percentage nti tukola kyenkanawa nti twetaaga 65% okusobola okuyimirizaawo the basics of ministry service in our area. Ekyo kyewetaaga naye omusumba atwala mmeka, abasumba bali bameka na I think the district we are talking about webeemanyi abasumba bekola etya, abasumba berina. So factors zonna za takingibwa into consideration before getting to the conclusions, that is giving you the percentage. Church land lwaki eri gyesalingibwamu association oba kati kankuyambe mu trustee mu the registered trustees of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. Eno fola eyaffe ewuliriza era kyebano kyebabadde bali nga babadde bali referred to as our leaders, as our supervisors. Kakati bino ebirala bikolebwa at the other supervisory level. So a sitting of the executive committee of Uganda Union ye voting by trustees, not this house. So for this matter oyinza obutafuna kiteeso kigenda kuleetera nti tuvootinge but trustees ba registered trustees of the Seventh Day Adventist Church, kubanga we are one of the many smaller entities eziyingira oba making up Uganda Union. So kati bikolebwa eri ku Uganda Union, we just receive. Chair, I want to move that I've answered all the questions to the satisfaction of the members, and so I move, Mr. Chairman, the report.
Yeah, this side is okay. This side. Sebo nga tunavaawo uliriza ku bibuuzo ebiva oba comments eziva embuga. Yes, please. My pastor.
Thank you, Elder Miro. The manner in which you have answered the questions has propelled me to ask also. I have enjoyed the way you have asked. Mr. Minor, only about clarification, just a little. Page 57. Page 57 of, I see the table that has Central Uganda Conference Institution tithe. Where I come from language, we look for abnormals because they speak to the peak of the conversation or discourse. When I was looking at this, I saw Prime Radio. The row of Prime Radio, January, December 2022, 23 million. January, December 2023, 4 million. January, December 2024, 5 million. And January, October 2025, 19 million. Now these two, 23 and 24, in my layman's understanding, spoke about less, their enumeration schedule was affected. And if yes, does it raise governance challenges? What could have been the cause, in other words? And the same goes for home health education services. Because the others are almost even, 2 million, 2.8, 2.1, 2.7, which from a mathematical point of view, in my layman's language, those look okay, but this one is too big, from 23 to 4, the staff. Then my next point is page 71. I would like to thank you for the achievements that are registered there. When you look at the first paragraphs, the first one you told us that there was land that needed to be settled off encroachers, and you gave us 260 million to do that. But in the third bullet, you mentioned that we secured 11.5 acres of land and 2 acres in Sanga, but you did not append to us the cost of those, which I think, since they are major assets added, maybe it would help us also to add. My final reflection and consideration is on the audit report. I am informed by those of you who are experts in those areas that the report has both the opinion financial statement and policy compliance report, 2 sections. What I see here, you have given us the financial statement opinion. My question was, what is our status on policy compliance report as a conference? Thank you, and thank you for the elaborate report.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Especially also I want to thank Elder Miro for this report. It is a detailed report. And actually also on the same page, 57, I see the institutions are here, and some have been giving in tithe, and others I see gap. I don't know what contributed to this. Others are missing. I don't know what's the problem. So could you please explain to us what caused this? Because I say gaps are many. And also,
I was so much excited on page 62 when I saw around 27 church districts that are in a high sustainability level, and I thought this one is a very good place where the pastors have said. Actually, Mr. Chairman, I thought that if it was possible, we could also move a vote of thanks to these pastors who fall in this category of high sustainability level, because they have at least engaged so much of their efforts to see that they move these districts. However, these others, we need to encourage them so that we can all have them in the same magnitude. This page 64, I will not go there, Pastor Tamazi has already highlighted it, but my interest also lies on page 72. 72, we're given the number of land titles processed, but I wish it was quantified how many land titles, sorry, how many lands do we have? Then we see we have processed 20 out of this one. It could be very good for us to see the picture clearly on page 72. Then when I rush to this audit report, the main concern pastors already raised it. We are missing the other component of governance report, which shows us the compliance, level of compliance or policy side, where we needed to be told by the treasurer.
given time. Thank you, and sorry for the interruptions that have actually taken place, but let me respond to what our leaders wanted me to clarify. The last one, I request that it will be looked at, given that these figures moved, so one cannot easily identify the cause from here, so that is noted and will be checked. I want also to appreciate the fact that there are pastors who are in high-performing districts, and so as proposed by our leader chair, we move it and appreciate them.
Okay, it has been moved. And a second that we appreciate our. Can I see it by show of hand? All those in favor say aye. Opposed, nay. Thank you.
There was also concern on institutions that have gaps in their returns. The first one came with Prime Radio, which appears to be performing abnormally high in 2022 and 2025. Our leader, you may have to be informed that at times our colleagues in these institutions do not return tithe as when it is supposed to come. And we may not know how much is supposed to be gotten until when it is actually sent. We try to remind, but this is noted. We will actually go down to always move the figures to the month or to the years where they are supposed to appear from, because that is a standard requirement. And then there are those that have just failed to live to the expectations despite the reminder. Your own Upper Nile, that is one of the culprits. You can see 2029, no tithe returned, and that is workers' tithe, and 2025, no tithe yet returned. And now these being our leaders, because they are right in the coffer of the union, we cannot go to them to audit until when they deem it fit to return the money as supposed to be returned through the system. There was a question to do with policy requirement. Me being a finance, my docket is finance, Mr. Chair, to our leaders. So finance, I reported the finance position as in terms of the audit opinion. But from the Secretariat's report, we have had issues. Yes, he didn't categorically bring it out. I ought also to have mentioned, since it missed the other time. But we want to appreciate the fact that we have gotten issues with some of would be minor to us, but very important to the auditors. Because cases that have led to fortification of our policy compliance is like not every other executive committee member signing, what is that one? Conflict of interest form. But we are taking it seriously upon us to ensure that we become, so areas that we are incriminated of via policy are easy to correct, and we promise those will also be addressed. Thank you, Chair.
Can I hear a question now after all that? Question has been called. All those in favor say aye. Opposed nay. Say well, thank you. Bari tumukubira obugalo bwennyini. muyimiremu mbabuulire ekisembayo. Egololemu katono njogera ebigambo bino byagala muntu yeegolodde. God bless you. You can sit down. Njagala kubaleetera amawulire amalungi nti tutambula bulungi ng'amasannyalaze aga gatusibasibamu naye mu programming yaffe nga bwe twakitegese kirabika nga kitambula bulungi. Bw'oba otunudde page 6, you can go to page 6 now and see where we are. We are through with officers' reports now. And once we are through with that report, with those reports and the general responses and reactions, it means we are entering into another subheading called what? Called what? Nominating committee. Njagala kubebaza kubanga kakati tugenda okukola akakiiko akalonzi bwe tunaamalirizaawo tugende tulye ekyemisana nga kyekyo tukimaze okukifuna. N'olwekyo nsaba muwulirize bino bulungi. Bassebo abakulembeze baffe from Uganda Union, thank you for being part of us in that first part. As we enter into this part, we still need your guidance so that we can do it in the best way possible. When you go in the nominating committee stage, I want to say these few words before we do it. Nabadde nga nsoma baluwa eyatuyise wano ssebo gye watuwandiikira. Twafubye ng'obulabirizi okugigoberera okuggyako ng'empulunguse zaaguddemu bugwi, naye ebbaluwa yatugamba nti mulonde abantu abali spiritually mature, abali in good standing. Sebo tewakiwandiika bane mwekubire mu bugalo nti mu makanisa gaffe twalondeddwayo si lwakubanga ffe tuliyo ffekka, naye ffe twafunye omukisa okuba nga tuli mature ate in good standing. Mwabaddemu n'akagambo akalala nakawandiise abalina even actively involved in the mission of the church. That means you are also actively involved in the mission of the church. Lwaki twakya kiwandiikibwa ekyo? Kubanga bye tugendamu bya kikulu, si bya kito. Era bwe tunaaba tulonda abantu abagenda mu lukiiko eyo, fuba nnyo okukakasa nti newankubadde nga ffenna bano tuli macuwa, naye ate oyo ali macuwa bulungi nnyo. Fuba nnyo okulaba nti newankubadde nga tuli ni good standing, naye ate oyo mu kuba mu good standing alinamu enkizo. omuntu ayinza okuba nga bamaze galowooza nti ali spiritually mature naye nga yabadde beerabira bwerabiza omusiba mu kkanisa, yandibadde musibe mu kyaki. Kati bwe tuba tutuuse mwene embeera kakasa nti abulako akatono okusibibwa naye nga beerabira bwerabizi, kati gwe mujjukire totawaana kumusembeza kumpi olwa bino bye tugendamu. Oswald Sounder, that's the name of a person who said spiritual ends require spiritual means, and the spiritual means come only, underline, only by the Holy Spirit. Byetugendamu kati onagamba nti byetaaga biri spiritual nnyo, kubanga nga betwayize ku makya tugenda kulaba abantu abagenda okulera ekkanisa ya Mukama, naye okubatuukako oteekwa kukozesa spiritual means, not political means. Nolwekyo bino si byakazanyirizi, si byakusaaga, si byakalaayiraayi, si byaki. It is a spiritual matter. So, because spiritual ends require spiritual means, when you go somewhere nga tugenda okulonda amannya gano, kakasa nti oli olonza abantu abali spiritual tulyoke tufunemu mu kye tugenda okukola. Number 3, kakasa nti abantu betunaawo obuvunaanyizibwa bali knowledgeable mu kye bagenda okukola. Ng'omusumba akoze ku myaka egiwerako mu kkanisa eno, waliwo lwendabye ng'obuzibu si muntu gwe twalonda, obuzibu tebwali gwe twalonda, obuzibu bwali ku balonzi. Kati singa mutuula mu lukiiko lwammwe ne mugamba nti ani anaakulira music anaasobola okusomesa solofa n'amalowoozi mu kkanisa yaffe, omuntu n'awanika n'agandika Kajoba Samwiri, nga museka mukyomo oli yawanisa agambye nti Kajoba Samwiri. Kakati ate bamale beriyita ne bajja ewa Kajoba, kati ate Kajoba nakola endagaano ne Katonda wange, kyebagamba okuweereza ku lwa Katonda, nze ngenda buki, nze ngenda bugenzi, ndi mutuufu okugenda bugenzi, yes. Naye bannange nga bwe nnyimba obubi musango gwange, musango gwa mulonzi oyo yalonda. Ekkanisa oluusi obuzibu bwetubiddemu tebutubiddemu lwabo abatutubizza, naye abatutubizza be baali mu kakiiko akalonzi, be baali abanafu, be bataalaba, be bagoberera ensonga endala, be bateetegereza. Ebalondawo ekinnya kya rawundi, yalonda ekintu kya square, tekiyitawo. Twaliko mu kanisa nga tulonda omukozi, olinaga tibannange sijja kusobola kutereka ssente zammwe, nange erina ebizibu byange ebya ssente, ate bwemunonda okutereka ssente zammwe nja kukaluubirirwa. Ekazi negamba nti ffe gwe twagala ne bamwesibako ne bamulonda, bwe zamubulako n'agamba nabagambirawo nti ziribula, nabagambirawo. So please, twagalana mwetulonda abantu nga bafiitinga, kakitegeeza omulowooza atekuba knowledgeable ku kyetunonda, okumanya omulimu, okumanya bayibuli ne polisi y'ekkanisa. Aleme kutuuka mu lukiiko ate nga kyetagisa kugenda kuleeta katikisimu oba enjigiriza ya bayibuli ate kijja kutulwisa mu lukiiko. bagamba nti twagala saba sukulu nga ne saba sukulu akimanyi bwekolaki. So si TMI gwe yatuleetera, TMI yatwalwire tuletera abantu. Bulijjo mbanyumiza nagenda mu kamiting okutuuka nanyakiriza n'agamba Musumba neebaza Katonda nange okuweerezaako naawe naliva ku union mu biseera ebyo. Nzaani aweerezaako naava ku union munnange nange nabatizibwa mwaka guno nsanyuse okukwaniriza kubanga ate bwe gutuukidde nga ndi mukadde wa kkanisa. Neewuunya abatizibwa omwaka ogwo ate nga kati mukadde waki ate nga yayaniriza obwa union. Kyenva mbuuza ninanye nti ekyomukadde akitegedde oba agamba nti yakulembera kampani nti abaamwawula sabbiiti eyaggwa. Kati mwe musuula ekkanisa mu ddubi. Knowledge amanyi poliisi ekkanisa n'ebirala should not be very new. Kiri nakyogeddeko omuntu atagenze kwekalakaasa na kulwana alira bwana alinda bulizi bafuwe firimbi alwane alwanirire ekkanisa abantu bafuna tebabalwanirira. We are not going in a political arena. We are going to do spiritual things, not campaign. We want somebody who can listen and make a clear judgment spiritually. Ebyo mbimaze okwogera olw'okuyambako. Guidance eri bweti ekyo ebyo nesigwa mutuufu okusoma kino. Polisi kale era gwe nagambye according policy issues go kisoma. Sebo nange sebo nasomako yangu sebo koli ku kino nze ndyoke nsabira abantu. Do you have it?
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Abagalwa, mawulidde chairman waffe yatulabulidde nti ekintu kya police compliance kintu kikulu okutambulira ku nkola ey'ekkanisa eyatuweebwa ate naffe netukikiriza ate nga yetuuleese wano. Tuzze wano olwa police era nekyetugendamu kirina kutambulira ku police. Sebo Mr. Chair, okusinziira constitution yaffe eya Central Uganda Conference Constitution Article 4 Section 1 etulungamya mu ngeri gyetulondamu abaweereza. Section 1 etutuusa ku kigambo ekikwata ku nominating committee nti organizing committee yerina okulonda nominating committee. Kyekiteeso kyendeeta ssebo eri olukiiko oluna okuyita mu chairman tukkirize olukiiko n'olwonna nga lutudde lufuuke organizing committee nga constitution yaffe bwetulagira. I move.
It has been moved and seconded. Question. Can I hear a question from you? Question has been called. All those in favor say aye. So you are the organizing committee now.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Since we are an organizing committee, era bwe tugenda okulonda nominating committee.
listen properly now.
Bino byakuwuliriza bulungi nga chairman bw'atugambye. Okufuna abanaabeera mu nominating committee, buli kiwayi kye ngenda okusoma kigenda kubeera kyokka kironde abantu abo ababaweereddwa. Neegendereza nga njogera nga njagala buli omu akitwale bulungi. Nolwekyo Central Kampala Zone we tuli wano, South Kampala Zone nayo weeri ne zooni zonna. Tulina ekiwayi ky'aba ordained pastors, ate tulina ekiwayi ky'aba licensed pastors, tulina abavudde mu matendekero oba institutions nga mulimu n'amalwaliro ne radio, institutions z'amasomero, ate tubeera ne radio ne medical institutions. Kakati abalala nja bategeeza kiwayi kimu ekyekola kyokka. Kakati Central Kampala Zone mugenda kubeera we mubeera mulonde abantu basatu. Pastor Katonsa bawandike bano. Tujja kulonda abantu bameka basatu, omukyalo omu, omuvubuka omu, n'omwami omu. Kakati emiwendo gino egy'abantu gyasaliddwawo okusinziira ku bantu abavudde mu zooni eyo bwe benkana. Yes, Central Kampala Zone yaleese abantu 81, South Kampala Zone yaleese 94, East Kampala yaleese 76, Metropolitan Zone yaleese 10, South Buganda Station yaleese 58, South Buganda Zone yaleese 36. Kaakano nzira mu Central Kampala Zone bantu basatu, omukyala, omuvubuka n'omwami. South Kampala Zone Pastor Sekito wandika bino abantu basatu, omukyala omu, omuvubuka omu, n'omwami omu. East Kampala Zone naye leeta abantu basatu, omukyala omu, omuvubuka omu, n'omwami omu. Metropolitan Zone Pastor Benon Lincoln wandika Metropolitan Zone ereeta omuntu omu ate nga muvubuka, youth. South Buganda Station ereeta abantu babiri, omukyala n'omwami. South Buganda Zone ereeta omuntu omu, omuvubuka, youth. Ordained pastors egenda kuleeta abantu babiri nga mulimu senior n'omuvubuka babiri. Ono Pastor Sembus ndoza yagobo kiwandiko babiri abasumba senior, of course atali musumba Sembus, n'omuvubuka omusumba ali ordained. Then licensed pastors namwe mujja kubeera mu kiwayi, ndowooza obusumba omusumba Tayebwa gwe oba owandiika kubanga batujja kusuubira okutuwa report. Licensed pastors leeta omu, omwo temuli senior oba youth. Institutions, schools, amasomero tujja kusuubira omuntu omu ate nga mwami. Radio n'amalwaliro mwegatte wamu mufune omu naye ate nga mukyala. Kakano ne ba union officers bajja kubeera basatu abo bekolako bokka. Prime radio, so radio ne medical saba mukadde Sentongo gwoba wandika era gwoba ovunanyizibwa. Institution, schools, mukadde Davis wali kale Davis wali Semanda, kale Davis Semanda govunanyizibwa institution, schools, okuleeta omuntu omu ng'ate mwami. Sebo nominating committee Right, radio ne medical katukyusemu kati Ssentongo badde onoonya omukazi nga tomulaba kale Prime Radio ne medical institutions muleete omu nga mwami. In total, nominating committee yaffe nga bwe tuli organizing committee now egenda kubeeramu abantu 21. I move, Mr. Chair, that we accept this composition.
It has been moved and seconded. Any comment? Any comment omulundi gumu? Any comment emirundi ebiri? Dr. Jumba, stand up and get a microphone. Yangu yenye usijumba utirukungu ya jiji
bali nize kazindalo musumba musumba guidance waliwo abatayina kubeerako bwe tugenda eri okulonda tuzogamba this category don't include them wadde nga musajja oba mwami
enjala ennumi ennyo ndowooza sibitegedde.
Okay, are there categories of people that should not be on the committee? Specifically, can executive committee members come to the nominating committee?
Committee members nga gwe taata sigalayo. Kakati mwe ba committee members mwebale nnyo mwebalire ddala naye mwe mujja kusigalayo eri ebbali. Tulina abadde mutuufu byawuuza abo basigalayo bali tayari basigalayo n'abalala bwe batyo bainvite basigalayo. Kakati bali bokka abali mu mbeera eyo se buli mutuufu bwe bagenda okubeera mu nsonga eyo. Okay. Knowledge bwebanga ebuzeeyo ekirala kyonna. Can I hear? Question has been called. All those in favor say aye. Opposed nay. So basebo ne banyabo tewali byakazanyirizi. Kanziruke mpulire gwe balonze mu Central, kanziruke ate mpulire gwe balonze mu East, tulekese naawe bino birimu matalisi. Genda mu East Kampala tuleetera abantu bameka basatu, mwami muvubuka mukyalo. South todduka kuva mu South Kampala atodduka owuliriza eno ng'olinganga awuliriza ebyakapiira. Baleke bali abantu abo bakulu kabakole omulimu gwabwe. South Kampala zone basatu babagambye, Central basatu, South Buganda 1 youth mugende mulonde abantu abo mungeri bagamba nti youth ne batateekawo nti obanga youth mukazi oba musajja kasitopimanga youth nga gwoteekawo. Mutegede bulungi bwe tugenda eri abasumba quickly do it. Era ekyo bwe tunakimala kyekitusibye okulya emmere. Ebibuuzo byaweddeyo, njagala kubasindika kugenda kulonda. N'olwekyo nga mbasindika okulonda muyimirire. Omukulu ono agambye nti bagenda kutuwa ebibanja gye tulaga. Nadda wano bano badda wano mangu ye mangu. Abammwe muba mugenda nga bwe mutuukira ku mulyango nga mulifunye, naye tubasaba mugende eri mumale kusaba. Toleeta kikalu spiritual end tugifu yakola kirala kyonna because business notuli sekusebe
Mukama musabire ekibi bado bagenda kufuluma enkana kulaba ani anaatuula ku lukiiko ani anaatukulembera olw'ekkanisa n'akakiiko akalonzi. Mukama tusaba omwoyo omutukuvu alungamye enteekateeka eno, lungamya abaddewo n'abazaala bo, yaweyingiriza omubiri obulowooza ku mubi obuyingira mu nteekateeka eno n'ekyo yayagala kye kiba kikolebwa baddewo n'abazaala bo abagenda okulondebwa babe nga balondeddwa okuyita mu nteekateeka yo olyobaoko kyoyagala wakati mu lukiiko olugenda okutuula. Lungamye jangu otukulize kyoyagala yeresukka waafe.
kakati abakulembeze buluwa nomba musooka mujje no maaso mujjo tuyamba okgenda muweddeyo edda twakubako akapiira akakika ekyo kanye nga abamaanyi bayimirira eno ne bayita naye batakuyita nga kiruma. Kakati se omulonde gye mugenda aba institution mumuli batonotono musale amagezi semandala bajotwala abantu bapasita bagenda wa bapasita bamanyira nnyo ebituuti mudde wali ababuulizi baddawa ababuulizi mugoberere tayebwa sebo wa mu maaso galigaba maaso kale tugende eri ku mulyango aba South Kampala Central genze wali gwa radio mugende wali naye musaba South Buganda zone bagambye egenda wa kale
aba South Buganda station tugenda wakati ku mukono guno ku rose zisembayo.
Aba East Kampala zone tuli wano fe tusigadde wano East Kampala zone awo makati awo
Kampala Metropolitan just right there.